music going down a little bit. Okay, so we're up to session number 47. And people aren't dead yet.
Well,
permanently dead.
they're currently alive.
Mm-hmm.
He's moving.
Okay, so remember to move my phone from the mic so there should be less static, because I left my phone next to the mic once and there was static through the entire thing.
Okay, yeah, I think I've heard that one.
I think that was one of the Friday Night Pathfinders.
Yeah.
I didn't notice. Okay, so should actually point something at me if I'm putting myself on camera, even though I hate it. Here we go. Okay, so we are continuing on from where we left off last session. We have in person new player Ross, who's going to describe his character to us because he'll soon find out how it joins the party.
Yes, I am Xanis, a goblin monk who's currently disguised as a ugly halfling who's dressed up as a kobold.
We sort of have a picture sitting in the top corner of the battle mat on the screen.
Yeah, just changed the skull, the cobalt skull to an ornate dragon mask, mosaic mask.
It's close.
Yeah.
And online tonight we have Mark.
I am the princess of the Lost Long Matsu. I think it's Matsu, yeah. So I'm playing Horora, the human female samurai who, after last session, is going through some mental issues. So she's might be very quiet this session, not sure yet. So.
Well, she's living up to her prophecy already. And then we have Jeremy, who is also online.
Yes, playing Nasru Visky, an elven rogue who is the younger brother, well, younger in some senses, of Sandhu and the adopted son of Koya, who is the family that owns the caravan that we're all travelling with at the present time. Other players that would often be in but not here also tend to be members of the extended family. It's a very interesting collection of that Mum has adopted. And yeah, so he ends up often being the spokesman of the party in some situations, but that's just because he's a bit tricksy and can fill almost any role needed.
Cough, cough.
As we found out when we had to present a number of different things at the feast recently, and he had the ability to do what was needed.
He did a fantastic job at the feast.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I just.
But I understand that we've now left the town of something or other, Uran Ray or whatever, the edge of the Arctic Circle.
Yep.
And left in somewhat a flustered hurry, I believe.
Yep. I thought I would also point out that there is the Pathfinder PC game Wrath of the Righteous is currently finishing up on Kickstarter if you want to see a PC game using mythic abilities.
Finishes next 3 days, isn't it?
Finishes today, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Somewhere around that. So I did manage to back it, and I backed out in the digital deluxe version.
Oh, I just went for the standard.
Well, I thought, I don't mind getting the extra items in the game. I'll see what that turns out like.
I'll be in if you ain't mythic.
Well, I don't know how the mythic's going to play out, but because it's written for a mythic campaign, it should be balanced. Unlike me giving mythic out on a non-mythic campaign because you were absolutely totaled on Rise of the Rune Lords, and so I gave it to you in Curse of the Crimson Throne, and you absolutely admonished it, even though it turns out you could have absolutely defeated it without mythic, the way it was written.
Yeah.
But don't worry, you'll get to revisit that on Wednesday and Friday.
Make assuming we make it to level 2.
Oh look, it's only 10 sessions in, and you're still level 1. How bad can it get?
Right.
This one, you're, is it 47 sessions in and you're 10th level, so you are a little bit ahead on this one. You are sort of leveling about every 5 to 6 sessions.
Yep, no, they're all good.
That's a pretty good progression. Okay, so as a recap of what happened last time, if you didn't watch the hilarious video that resulted from someone having a marriage proposal, meeting a master armorer and getting ditzed for the first time by someone he was hoping would, worship the ground he walked on, and absolutely being the nicest time that the halfling Avery has ever had dealing with an NPC. He's never had an NPC who has not had a go at him. It's the first NPC who's actually liked him.
Oh, the fact that he can change one of his pets into a T-Rex.
Yep. Well, that was also the first time he'd done that. So it was an amusing way of trying things. And
Yes. Of course, what I understood was the fact that, oh good, so the party let loose dinosaurs in the middle of civilization again.
Yep, for the second time. It's not like you don't do that sort of stuff fairly often.
Was it animal specialist?
He was a
Beast or whatever.
He's a summoner.
Summoner.
He just turned his Eidolon into a Tyrannosaurus type shape.
So there'll be some strange music in the background for a while as I've just kicked a few things off. So yes, he is using the summoner playtest that I wrote. I've written one for Witch, for Summoner, and for Samurai, and that's actually up on my blog. The Summoner appears to be the balanced one. The Witch was so close to what was released that I just said, look, I've made the changes over to make it look like what was released, so if anyone was using my stuff it will be similar, but I've stopped work on the Witch. The Witch is fairly much the same as what I was doing. Just slight tweaks that was not worth doing what I'd done. The Samurai and the Summoner, on the other hand, aren't in the Advanced Player's Handbook, so it's handy because I have a Summoner and a Samurai and a Witch that I had that happen. The reason there is no Ninja done is because I had no Ninja.
Cool, right? Nashru can fill that role.
Nashru can fill every role. Except for the died the most in the campaign. I'm afraid you haven't reached that one yet. You've only died once.
Did he say roll or hold? So I didn't quite get that one. Is that too soon? Is that too soon tonight? Okay, sorry guys.
That's okay. I'm sure that there is a horse to talk to you. Of course.
Hopefully you got a lot of peanut butter.
Oh, we also had, we decided to meet, was it 8 ninjas?
Yeah, there were 8 ninjas that attacked, and they attacked you while you were wearing a dress, so you didn't have your armor, which meant you were a lot squishier than you were used to.
And I was going, oh no, not the dress.
Yep.
And so I had to replace the dress. Then I had to eventually give my final answer to the prince. We took it considering very well. And then I told everyone to get out of the city straight away. So.
How many people actually know that it is the princess?
Everyone thinks she's the princess because she's been announced as the princess in the royal banquet. And so that was the... So if Jeremy didn't see it, that's the person who saved the armourer.
Right.
So the armourer looks like a little girl.
You mean a little girl with a small stick that I'm sure anyone can run up to and try and decapitate and find out that maybe there's more to her than just a little girl with a small stick?
She has 2 kukuri. So not quite small stick.
She's quite vicious, that girl. Yes.
Well, no, I'm more referring to the small girl we found in Crow's Raven's Reach or whatever.
That one actually didn't look like a child. That one actually looked like she was at least in her 20s.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She was still a small little girl in comparison to what she became when the spell wore off, because she lost the entire size with the illusion. Yes, this illusion makes me look thin. Where's a literal thin?
Let's leave previous deaths alone and just get to move on, I think.
But you were talking about holes to fill.
Hey, look, your
That's-
brain only got
well,
squished once that time.
So the princess is now wearing was it a yellow and black striped jumpsuit?
Not quite that bad, but you're probably going to get there soon. You are in the middle of racing from the city after finding out that the witch's familiar had been cursing the prince every night.
Thank you.
And had been painting demonic symbols all over the prince's palace. With the finger of one of the guards.
Yep. Typical.
No, don't know anything about that. I'm just walking away. I'm on my horse. I'm still talking to my horse, hanging on the horse. It's still in tears. Okay, that's the last I left it.
And yeah, so we did leave with Aurora having a one-on-one with her horse, telling it all the problems that she's been having, and for the first time in 47 sessions did the horse talk back. Well, 46 at the time.
Well, no.
I'm surprised.
For the first time in 46 sessions, Aurora listened to what the horse said.
I know, that was the funniest part. The horse instead of been doing it all alone.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm still in a little bit of a sad state, so I'm going to go with that. I'm still going. I said sorry, Bruce. I'm very apologetic, and I did all
Everybody
that.
leveled up, so the horse is leveled up to level 10, which enables its speech.
But no one else heard the horse talk.
Who, pardon?
No one else has heard the horse talk.
Okay, the horse is psychic.
Well, they don't quite know yet, and that's how we ended the session. So this session starts off with you. Dawn is rising as you're fleeing the city. You've been told by the little tan girl, who is the master armorer, that you've got 500 miles to reach the safety of the Forest of Spirits.
Well, the Nashua and Koya and Co. had 5 days to ensure the caravan was restocked and done all the trading and things like that they wanted to do.
It has, and as the little girl rocks up with her small pouch, she shows up with a halfling-ish creature wearing kobold armor. She says, "Oh, this is Zarin. I couldn't leave him in the city either."
Xanis.
Xanis, Zarin, she says, "I never really paid any attention. His prophecy hasn't come true yet."
What, to become a dragon?
Okay, noting that down. That is now actually a fact in law.
Well, a rumour in law anyway.
Prophecy to be eaten by a dragon.
No, to become a dragon, not to be eaten by a dragon.
That's still to become a dragon.
You see a samurai and the cuddling his horse still crying, going, "Oh, none of the prophecy," and just goes back to cuddling the horse again. So,
Well, no. You see, Xanis, the thing was that you just haven't paid full attention to the full prophecy.
Possess the dragon.
You've listened to the prophecy of become a dragon. Woo, yes! But you didn't actually hear the end of it. You left before you heard the end of become a dragon's dinner.
More worried about the aftermath of that.
see, I was a dragon once, then I died. So there we go. We won't go any further than that one. So.
What, did you read a halfling? Kobold? Gnome?
No, then I got turned into a dragon. I flew around for a bit.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
And then killed yourself as a dragon.
I think, whatever happened with that. I'm trying to. These sort of memories are faded now. I do not like to think about these things anymore. But just a good mental state.
Don't worry, just ask Blight. He'll be able to bring him back anytime you want.
Yeah, not at the moment. I'm talking to Bruce, and that's all I care about at the moment.
So when you're saying fleeing the city, are we being chased?
Let's put it this way, Nashru. I said no to the prince, and he didn't take it too well.
Caravans can't move fast.
I know they can't, but it's still that they're fleeing the city like a person with a cane is fleeing the authorities.
I think we've got some time on this because I think our dear friend Splat might have stopped a lot of the anger coming out, but I don't know how long we have. That's all.
Okay, so it's more a case of yes, we want to move quickly, but we're not actually being actively run down right now.
Not right now. You don't know when it's going to happen because you're being attacked by ninjas at least once. You expect more ninjas to come.
Yeah.
By the way, I'll take my ninjas as well.
But were
And-
those ninjas? Were those ninjas
because
because you turned down the prince?
No, that was before turning the prince.
That's what I
I found
thought.
out it was the princess. That was for you know who.
Okay.
Would the princess be offended if you hide your sword and dye your hair?
Not really, because I'm now known as the well. And I look at our armor. I've got our armorer's name. But I go, can I trust this goblin, halfling, dragon, kobold? Is it introduced as a goblin or not? I don't quite-
Her name is Miyaro. Miyaro. She says you can trust him as long as your life persists.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
So you mean all the way till tomorrow?
She does not refer to a death as being the ending of life.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Anyway, I'm the target, so since the target's moving, the better it is. I'll stay at the front of the caravan, on my dress, with my sword, try to start walking out the gate when everyone's ready. So, trotting out. Trot.
You reach the guards at the gate. The gate's currently shut because dawn hasn't arrived yet.
I'd like to ask the guards nicely if they wouldn't mind opening the gate for a jaunter, we just want to go for a little trot outside kind of thing.
So did you bring your dice with you?
I did.
Give me a dice roll.
I assume diplomacy?
I would say that would be along the lines of coerce.
So a...
Or deception?
Deception? I can do deception.
Well,
Maybe you should
what
have
was the
your,
story you were telling?
Elf speaker suggested.
I'm just going for a gentle
Since he,
enter outside with my horse.
It is actually a coerce
24
check against their will check because you're asking them to do something that is illegal.
Oh. I couldn't use diplomacy, could I?
No, you can't because diplomacy
not by
won't
telling a
allow.
lie.
Diplomacy won't give you illegal activities.
Okay, so deception is 24 then.
Daybreak.
What was that?
How long before daybreak?
You've got a couple of hours before it's officially daybreak. So you got a 24?
24, yeah.
Okay, he looks a little worried, but you see he actually goes and unlocks the door. And,
Thank you.
And pushes it open and lets you out.
I say on the way past as a Josh gesture, can I ask your name? You've been so nice to me.
He says he probably won't matter. He won't see sunset.
Okay.
Well, you can come with us.
Oh, I've killed somebody already without having to kill them. Okay. Okay. I'll taunter and ask the caravan to go through too. So.
Okay, so the caravan follows by Lee goes out while you're talking to the doomed man.
Well,
Comes with us.
does Nashu overhear this conversation?
It's up to Nashru. Would Nashru like to overhear the conversation, or would Nashru like to ignore it and the implications of it?
I'm okay. I'm happy if I overhear it to make a quick assessment of the guard and find out whether or not he's anyone particular of interest or concerning. And if he appears to be someone relatively innocuous, Nashru will offer the opportunity that, well, you know, if you're going to be in danger anyway, you could slip on the back of one of the caravans and we'd never know.
Unfortunately, his family would be put at risk.
Give me a society check.
Okay, so I've got my D20 with me, so someone rolls D20, Ross.
How many rerolls do we have?
Don't worry about it. Okay,
That's a 3.
There are technically
That's
3
three.
rerolls.
Did you get a 3?
You got a
I
3.
rolled a 3. Maybe I
So
should-
19 society.
He's quite good at it. Looking at the guard, you do think that he would have a family, and were he to disappear, his family would not.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
Yeah.
if he's not
Well,
unconscious,
and again, I will mention the
would
fact
that
that, well,
lessen the
if you wanted to
charge?
collect some belongings and personnel before he jumped on the back of the caravan, I'm sure we won't get that far. But as I say, we're not stopping.
Give me a perception roll.
It's a 23.
You can see at least 4 other guards heading back into town from the gate.
So basically, we would have to knock out 4 other guards.
You'd pretty much have to take out the entire guardhouse, and even then, they'd probably be put to death.
Okay, so you got 1 death versus the entire guardhouse death.
And a death you didn't cause, in the sense of you didn't actually kill him, but he was honor bound to open the door. Even though that meant,
Hate
that-
nobility.
it's up to the prince to determine his actual fate. But the prince now holds his life in his hands. If he was to flee, then he would be branded a
Traitor, and his family will then bear his punishment as well.
Yeah.
Typical Hurora, again, thinking of no one but herself.
That's nobility for you.
Okay, so you guys make it out. And Mark can't actually respond at the moment because he is on mute. So obviously his character is suffering some mental anguish as it heads out of the gate.
What, he's probably finally realised what he's done?
Possibly. All the horses told him, but no one heard the horse.
Of course.
Okay, so yes, you head out into the grassland.
Oh, look, as nobility, I believe that this is a just thing to do.
What, to execute him?
Probably,
That's not my choice, it's his choice.
no, the problem is
I don't like this prince anyway, so that's okay. I was having a drink, guys, so.
It's okay. I'm sure you can catch up on what you missed when you were away.
I know, I heard it all, I just couldn't speak, that's all. So.
Okay, so you head off, and you basically spend most of the day just inching away from the city.
I think
Obviously,
he's
we'll be aiming to make best speed. Are there tracks or pathways that we are following or specifically avoiding?
You're avoiding the main road because you were told that there are ninjas trying to kill you on the main road.
Yeah.
And so you're cutting across country, giving you 12 miles a day.
Okay. Well, naturally we'll attempt to cover tracks as much as possible behind the caravan to ensure that it's less obvious which way we go.
So
It'll mean it means they'll need to get 5 on their survival check instead of a 4.
Okay, so I have been doing the checking up on how to run some of these things. And we are actually in exploration mode. So, things you can do in exploration mode that I kept forgetting to do in the escapade across the ice is you have the basic activities of avoid notice, defend, detect magic, follow the expert, hustle, investigate, repeat a spell, scout, or search. And then you have a bunch of skill-based activities, borrow an arcane spell, coerce someone, cover tracks, decipher writing, gather information, identify alchemy, identify magic, impersonate, learn a spell, make an impression, repair, sense direction, squeeze and track, and treat wounds. They're all considered exploration activities which you're doing when you're moving about. Most downtime activities are considered stationary activities. So there are 3 different game modes for Pathfinder 2.
Yeah.
And so the different ones are encounter, exploration, and downtime.
Out of 10?
There's someone else in the background there?
Yeah, Kai, yeah. I would have put it on mute for the conversation, but I actually just opened up another window. I couldn't get to my mute button easily.
So the princess now has a talking animal.
That may happen. Therion does show up on occasion. I decided to put him up as one of the players. He's down listed as the fickle player.
I'd like to, if Jeremy's covering our tracks, I wouldn't mind scouting a little bit in front.
Okay, so if you want to do the scout activity, I shall look it up and make sure you get it done right.
I would expect that Miyaru is probably involved in some of the scouting, or at least the guiding activity.
Yeah.
She's the one that knows where we're going. So.
Okay, so scout will mean that your group moves at half speed.
So that means we're moving at 6 miles.
6 miles a day.
Oh, I thought it was just scout for me, total. Okay,
the moment,
okay, gotcha.
The moment you're going to doing, this is why it's got exploration mode stuff, is you affect the entire party and how the party works. You can't do a scout for a long period of time if you're moving slower than or equal to the party.
Gotcha. That's all good. Okay, well, I won't scout because I don't really want us to be slower because I know what the is.
So. I think it's about the same, isn't it?
Okay, so
it doesn't stack.
Cover tracks 252. I will be I'm basically going through and listing what all the base activities are that everyone can do. Amusingly enough, you got to be trained to do it in survival, which you should be. So if you're covering your tracks, you move at half your speed.
Well, as I say, because he's an expert in survival, and I suspect that Nashru can quite happily move at half his speed, covering the tracks of the caravan, and the caravan might get ahead of him, or he might just keep up with the caravan.
Well, if someone is scouting ahead and you're covering tracks, then that pretty much means that you should be less likely to be surprised, but you do move a lot slower. Which is something you should have been doing across the ice.
So, yeah. I mean, I suppose because there's no difference between what the caravan's movement is compared to what an individual's movement is.
Sorry, could you repeat that again, Jeremy?
Okay, so there's no difference between what the caravan's movement is compared to the individual's movement.
Not when you apply the exploration mode. Exploration mode is the party moves at the same speed.
Yeah.
Couldn't it apply the worst one because it's already halved and you're doing it another thing?
Well, it's basically I'm happy to do the make sense stuff because only some people are scouting and only some people are covering tracks, and each one of them half your speed, so you can do them both during a half speed. Instead of trying to penalise by going, look, you're quarter speed.
Yeah, we're going like 3 miles. We're still within visual range of the...
even at 6 miles...
They can't follow the tracks there.
At 6 miles, you will be still in visual range of the city.
How far until the forest?
500 miles.
So it's grassland towards it?
The entire way is grasslands.
Okay. So... How wealthy is the prince? Would he have his own, people that can actually just send out his eagles and scout out and look for us?
He didn't actually seem to have that level of magic or creatures, because he was showcasing no flying creatures.
But he, like I say, he is controlling the city, which obviously is, based upon the food that was available, either the city is moderately wealthy, or he was splurging a hell of a lot of the wealth it didn't have.
So, Ross, he is up here. So what they're going to be doing is travelling across to here, and that distance is 500 miles.
Holy shit, that's a big continent.
I would probably suggest that if we are thinking we might be followed...
So that forest is like...
That it's probably
over
better...
1,000 miles wide.
Yep. And it is one of the most haunted forests in the world. It's known as the Forest of Spirits for a reason. No one goes there normally.
Based on how far we've got to go and what we're starting at, Nasu probably suggests that, in fact, the caravan move along a road initially, and then veer off cross country after about a half day's travel or something like that. So therefore, we're actually not actually in sight of the city when we move off in a direction that may be slightly unexpected.
So basically, we cover our tracks when we leave the road.
Leave the
just before we leave the road.
Yeah.
And you can't actually do a hustle action over a extended period. You can only do that in minutes.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to hustle, you can do a short, I'm running through a dungeon sort of rush, but that really burns your character out. Because it says you can hustle for as many minutes equal to your Constitution modifier by 10, for a minimum of 10 minutes. Even with negative Constitution modifier, you can go 10 minutes.
So 30 minutes for me.
Yep. But if a group hustles, you're going at the slowest person.
Yeah. So if somebody's got negative,
Zero
means
or less.
it's 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you guys start heading off down the main road, following all the pennants.
Well, at least it's not spikes with heads on them.
The pennants have spikes with heads on them.
Yeah, I'm going to just be at the
front. You said like flag things.
They are flag things with heads with spikes on top of them. He's an equal opportunist. He was not written up as a nice guy.
No, it sounds like Vlad Tepish of the. Why does he look like he's insane?
Because he never not smiles. When he's happy, he smiles. When he's unhappy, he smiles. He always smiles.
Okay, so he's the neuro of. Does he play musical instruments?
No, he just plays people.
No, he has other people play the instruments for him.
And that's supposed to be your fiance.
No, I dumped him. But now,
okay,
I found out some stuff that I know that's why there's a reason behind it. Anyway, I'm going to stay at the front of the caravan on the horse, just to be just a front head kind of target as usual. So
as you're heading off, everyone else is on the street who is waiting to get into town. They always wait at least a mile from the town entrance so they don't get harassed by the guards. They're all bowing and you hear the cry, "The princess!" Going down the street as you go along.
I bow and do the proper royalty kind of nobility stuff. So
royalty don't bow.
I was going to say, you mean you gave her the royal wave?
I do the royal wave, the old Aurora.
Give me
wave.
a society roll.
Yeah, I do gotta do that.
So is the princess
Would you
like
like
a bodyguard?
The princess is the bodyguard.
How many rerolls we got?
Do you really want to use a reroll? There are 3 there. You rolled a 1, didn't you?
Yeah, I rolled a 1, didn't I?
Okay, so you start bowing to everyone?
I'll do that because I do roll a 1. I'll take this. I'll cop this one.
Bows to the horse butts.
No, the horse just rolls.
That dice go in the bin. Okay. But I just bow and oh shit, and I realise afterwards it's like, oh crap, yeah. And try to stop doing it after a while.
So it means their response would be to bow even lower.
Yep. So as you bow, you notice that all of them are basically face planting on the road around you.
You're supposed to just nod.
Can the horse then tell me you're supposed to just nod? The horse
doesn't care. He just walks over everyone.
It shakes his head first.
Hey Bruce, I think I'm doing this wrong. His
response is, "Are they attacking you?"
No, Bruce.
Then does it matter?
Not really.
What you crazy 2 legs do is completely up to you. If they want to get out of the way, that's fine by me.
Okay, whatever you say, Bruce. I'm talking to the horse, and the horse is not responding, so that's okay. I like that idea. Okay.
As everyone just sees him talking at the horse, and the horse just ears twitching here and there. So yes, you go along quite a way. A few people have to be dragged off the roadway to let the carts go by without killing them.
Because she has right away.
I'll let that barbarian.
They won't go because it's the princess. And the princess hasn't released them to rise.
Oh, fuck.
So, you find that you've been going on for about 10 minutes, and you happen to glance back, and not a single person has gotten up since you passed.
Well, Nashu is at the back of the caravan.
Yeah.
Because he was looking to make certain that A, weren't being followed or cover tracks. Not important yet. Okay. Nashu, I expect, would understand what was happening and will allow him to take on the role of her herald again and encourage them to go about their duty, go about their business and days as you were. So,
I'll get you to do another society roll.
So,
give it a roll, myself.
Princess's emblem.
Give me a roll for the society.
Yeah. Well, that's a 9.
Yeah, you do recognise it with your bonus, and
Okay.
you are able to convince them. Give me a diplomacy roll to convince them that you are the herald and the right person to say so.
Okay. What do we got, Ross?
That's a 5. I'm rolling crap to that one.
22.
With a magic like that, when you add levels to stuff, it does come out quite well. So you do hear Natural in the background telling everyone to the princess has passed, you may now rise.
So, yeah, but yes. If they don't, again, not something Natural's all that concerned about.
Though Natural does notice that as far as you can see down the road, and you can see probably about 2 mile, there's about 2 miles of people just laying face down on the road.
Well, don't think there's much point covering our tracks yet.
There was a reason why the armourer had suggested not taking the road.
Absolutely, it's more the idea of we're just getting out of the city on the fastest way, and also on the theoretical direct way. That then means that if we leave the road, it's less obvious as to where we've gone. So
does the princess have a family emblem or something like that?
They do. There is the family emblem of the Anamatsu.
Oh, okay. They got a picture of it?
No.
So they don't know what it looks like?
It is probably in one of my Jade Regent books.
Oh, no. But do they have actually one?
They do have
they
one.
reckon,
Cool.
The peasants
Okay,
recognise
I'm going
it,
to
yes.
rummage through the caravan looking for material that I can make a tab up for the herald so it can actually look official.
They do have tabards already.
Already made up?
Yeah.
So is he actually wearing one?
No.
Maybe I'll grab one and say, hey, maybe next time wear this.
They
I
basically...
also have my samurai what is it called? Banner has also got the Anamitsu on it. So yeah.
As
But
does
actually,
the
it's all about whether or not I had the authority to actually get them to stand up again. So.
Yeah, well,
I
if
should
you're wearing the
make
one
this
up, makes it a bit more official.
Amico had made sure none of the caravans were flying the banner.
Yeah, because we want to be inconspicuous, but we can't be inconspicuous on the road.
Okay, so you guys managed to make half a day's travel in the eerie silence of Nashru saying, "You may get up now, you may rise."
How busy is this road?
The road is not moving whatsoever.
No,
It's
eyes-wise, is it very busy so they can actually probably see where we actually go off if there's a lot of people?
Well, if you leave during the day, people will watch because at this stage you are the royal procession, and everyone has stopped business until you pass.
Yes, but the idea being that you mentioned that the people who were passing were those that had to stop outside the city because they arrived after nightfall.
Yep.
How far do they extend?
Well, they extend for about 4 miles.
So after we've gone a few miles, we start not having people watching on the side of the road automatically?
They're dribs and drabs, but word has been passed down that royalty was coming, so all the local peasants are showing up.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, can we...
It's similarly what happens when a parade happens, that people do just show up because there's a parade happening.
Mm-hmm. So...
Oh, well, we're going to get attacked tonight.
Well, after we've got through the rush of the people who are waiting outside the city initially, hurrah, get inside a caravan, close up, we're just a trading group moving on.
Excuse me, that's not how you talk to a princess. Seriously, settle
Okay,
down.
lucky I'm not talking to a princess then, am I? Get in the caravan.
And hey, you're right, Bruce. Just walking along,
Okay.
and then I'll get in the caravan with Bug for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah.
Now we drop all.
So I'll get in the.
And so basically, yes, we'll be removing obvious evidence of the princess's presence, continuing as we continue to march along, and then so.
Shaylu throws a blanket over the ornate saddle and barding of Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you, Shayla.
Would I know a symbol for just a standard merchant guild?
Possibly, but that's also considered a crime.
Okay.
It's easier. You don't want to run across one of the
other merchants. Okay. So.
No, but so we can go back to being the merchant caravan of
Visky. The Visky caravan.
Going forward.
But
so.
Isn't the Visky caravan associated with the princess?
Yes, but the local populace won't necessarily know that at this stage.
And he likes running the Thessalonian rune.
So.
The 7-pointed star. Because people have no idea what it means and it looks mystical.
Mm-hmm. The
Is the arrows pointing...
Just confirming, does the Hedron rune have any context in TN?
Yes, it is a foreigner magic symbol. Very much, it is the equivalent of someone potentially also using Egyptian pictographs as well. So it's not our language, it's not our writing, it's some sort of mystical emblem.
Yeah, but okay, certainly not like the caravan is not an obviously foreigner's caravan anyway, irrespective of what it's actually got on an emblem.
Yep, it does look completely different to the other caravans and modes of transport around. It actually looks shoddy in comparison to the farmers.
Yep. So the idea being that another few miles, the novelty of a parade will have been less charged forward with other people.
What was that?
We need to get better caravans here.
No, your caravans are very well made, but they're not ornately made, and they're not generational caravans. They were built for Sandrew, whereas most of the local carts were built and modified over generations.
And remember, the point is that yes.
Okay, so
the caravan
they're Millennium Falcons, so they look like crap, but they get some places.
Pretty much, that's the caravan.
They don't look like anything specific, particularly from a Western civilization culture. They're standard,
like
traded things, nondescript.
They look like gypsy caravans.
Yeah. Around here, it's they tend to be, whether they've got money or not, they always put effort into the ornateness.
Well, you look around, you cannot see more than maybe 3 or 4 trees in your entire vision. So you're carrying more wealth in wood on your caravan than most of the locals will see in their lifetime.
The princess has gone to sleep now, snoring. Okay.
Big surprise.
I've done enough work last week.
You see Bud get out and sit on the next to the driver's seat and start driving, saying, "Yeah, the princess has gone to sleep. Splat wants to do some ceremonies while she sleeps."
Sleep well, princess.
I'm going to go with this guy.
Splat is the demon of shadow.
Oh, it's Splat. Yeah.
So he is most of the time a armadillo. That's thank you. And sometimes he's a cat, and sometimes he's a bird.
So he's a cat when he's playing with body parts.
He is pretty much what he eats. So if he eats something, he can turn into it.
And he's always got red eyes.
But that's normally a other witch's familiar, or a wizard's familiar.
I'm not too familiar with them.
So if he gets familiar with someone else's familiar, he can turn into it. They figured that out when they saw him eat another witch's crow familiar, and an armadillo eating a crow was scary for them. So that was quite a while ago.
I'm asleep.
Basically, we should be calling him Nibbler.
Oh, it's done a lot of things to us. Don't worry. All new characters. Two characters left the game.
Over the head.
Yeah.
I think they heard.
Okay, I've fallen asleep. I'm tired. I've fallen asleep. I didn't realise Splat was there.
Does he actually do something like
Splat only affects those that let it.
Not that anyone can actually recall, because I can't remember how it happened. They just recall it happening. It's like one of those, you know how people block out disturbing memories and visions, and then they just rationalise it in their own head? Exactly what Splat does when he eats things, no one knows.
As long as these poop isn't weighing like impossible weights.
They've never seen him poop. At least as far as I know, he hasn't pooped, but that may be the rocks he keeps handing people. Is that more disturbing for you, Mark? Or no, he's got.
Mark muted himself again.
Or maybe
Not commenting. I'll just turn the light on.
Or maybe they're like dragons from a certain story where it actually goes to another dimension.
Quite possibly. Okay, so as you're resting and sleeping soundly in the car, what is everyone else going to do? Are you going to start doing your grassland bash?
Well, I'm happy to go and talk to Miaru.
Yep.
My current thoughts would be, okay, yes, we've moved quickly in the morning to try and get away from the city and through the main rush of people. Get rid of any evidence of the princess in the caravan. And then my thoughts are to actually move fairly slowly for the afternoon with the intent that we'll actually make a camp, but then actually move on again after dark into the forest area, or into the off the road. So the idea being that we're basically resting somewhat in the afternoon to allow us to then get a few hours of travel, keep the horses going a few hours longer in the night.
Okay, so one
is
thing...
that something that Miaru would suggest is feasible?
Yeah, she says it is feasible. You also notice that each one of you had your horses' saddles, well worn and well used, was replaced with a brand new saddle with gold edging and symbols all over them.
In the caravan itself?
All the saddles and bridles and other stuff was all touched up with gold filigree. And so it is quite ornate compared to what you were used to, and compared to the fact that most of your wagons have been designed to be inconspicuous.
Well, I mean, that could be the
So, was this cheated, like magical, or is it actually crafted?
They were all crafted.
Cool.
But were they...
do this.
I would assume that Nashu didn't actually allow the belongings of the caravan to be taken away. He might have got given more, but one would have thought that he wouldn't actually release the old saddles.
Well, it happened while you were in the kitchen.
Tackles. Yeah, no, it's kind of like, yeah, the PC stuff, happy that got updated or changed, but the actual caravan equipment, where Sanji wasn't necessarily all the time because he went into the things, but Koya or representatives of the caravan were always there at the caravan. So if there were gifts given, great, but I wouldn't have thought they would have been willing to give up stuff. So, yeah, but yeah, so certainly Nashu would be keen on, when we get rid of the trappings of the princess at around midday or whatever, that again, yes, the any other trappings or unusual adornments for the caravan also get removed or at least covered.
Okay, while you're also doing that, Miara asks what happened to all the horses the prince had gifted you guys. The Hangali horses he gifted each of your nobles.
So, I or Nashu don't know about that, so...
She does basically say to that. So what happened to those horses? They were in the stables with your horses. The prince was had this big plan on giving it to you on the at the end of the fireworks.
So in other words, did you steal the horses or did you leave them there?
No, they left them.
Well, I was going to say, certainly, as far as I'm aware, we didn't know they were ours, and they weren't ours at that point because they hadn't been gifted yet. And so therefore, yes, the horses that were also in the stable, the prince's horses, were left behind. We did not take that because it's not ours.
Well, so they're shorter, aren't they?
They are shorter, but they are local horses, so they blend in a lot easier. Except they were fine examples of the local horses.
And the point is, yes, the horses might blend in, but the caravan still won't. So
that is true. So she sort of says it's probably a good idea that you left them behind. They were a little ostentatious and a bit stupid. Bit of inbreeding.
Particularly for pulling caravans.
No, that's probably the best thing you can do for those high-strung things. Except I'm not sure they have the backbone to do it.
Well, yes. They might have been nice to if we had been able to take them and leave on more amicable terms, but I'm glad that, considering what we did leave under, I'm glad we didn't have other cause for the prince to be following us.
Oh, I'm sure he will follow when he gets over whatever your little demon had done to him.
So Splat's been at work again, huh? Right.
He wrote his name all over the town and
Pass as an Oni.
Technically he would, yes.
So
in this area.
So basically they're now hunting for an Oni in the city.
Well, he left his mark everywhere, she says.
What is his mark? Is it it better not be this symbol that you've got on the side of the card.
It is very close to it.
I suggest you try.
Except it's not a 7-pointed star. It is a 10-pointed star.
Yeah, a lot of the locals won't really notice the difference.
The symbol he has is a lot older, and people do know what it belongs to. No one wants to know about it. Wherever that symbol is, people would rather ignore that it's there than look at it.
Yeah, but
yes, I really wish that Bud would control her pet and stop it graffiti. She seems to encourage it most of the time.
She sort of looks in your direction and goes, I have controlled it. He hasn't ridden on you or your gear at all, has he?
I have nothing to do with you and your pet.
Then I have controlled him. Otherwise, he would own you too. He seems to want to claim everything. Apparently, if he rides on it, he thinks it's his.
Well,
so therefore, we should go back and, since he's now the owner of that town.
Well, considering what he does when he does ride on stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm snoring and still asleep, so I'm hearing none of the.
Okay, you have one of the best sleeps you've ever had. You're dreaming of many sunrises. Basically, what it would be like to live many different lives. About a couple of hours into that sleep, you realise that it is you actually living each one of those lives.
This turns into a nightmare, doesn't it?
And that the only reason you're actually managing to try all these things is Splat just gives you a nudge into a new life every time you die, so you can start a new life.
Do I wake up like in a sweat or anything like that, or not? Or just wake up? I sleep, nice sleep. So I would remember this when I wake up, wouldn't I? Yeah. Okay.
Yep. You remember this when you wake up, and you wake up to a purring kitty on your chest.
Hi, Splat.
He just gets up and walks off. Apparently, he talks in a strange voice to you in tongues. So yes, you have. He basically walks out as soon as you talk to him.
I wake up, I look outside the caravan, what do I see?
You see Bog driving, and you're in the middle of grass. I know you're still driving on the road, so you weren't going to leave until nightfall.
Yeah. I ask Buggy if I can sit next to her and just, ride the caravan at the front.
Yeah, she says, "Oh, so you put a tattoo on your forehead again?"
What?
Oh, never mind, she says.
Okay. I just pretend I didn't hear that and I'll sit next to her. Yeah.
And she sort of sings a little bit under her breath, another day, another life.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wonderful life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
Don't worry, I can channel Annie when she's not here.
I know you can. You're doing a good job. Okay, I'll just sit in the caravan and just go, oh, okay. Do I see any peasants on the road at all? Or we passed all that stuff now? Or?
You see the occasional peasant on the road, they seem to be ignoring you.
Cool. If I start seeing them noticing me, I'm going back into the caravan. Okay? So.
From what you can tell, they are treating your wagon your group of wagons as if they are lesser than they are. So they're requiring you to get out of their way.
Yep, we're happy to oblige on that. And as I say, recognising that we've got to get off the road fairly regularly to let people go past, we'll deliberately aim to stop for the night a couple hours before sundown to set up the camp and things like that. So therefore, the horses can have a bit of a rest before we actually head out in the evening.
I do ask Bugs. I'm not sure about how close Bugs' size is to me. I'd like to get rid of the stress. Is there anything else I could put on that you might have?
Let's see. Yeah, she pulls out something extremely revealing.
Not what I was after. I was more after something less revealing. I think I've had enough revealing things for the last week or so.
It also has flat symbol woven into the front and back.
No, okay, when we have a stop, I'll go talk to Amika.
Well, I'm sure this will fit you perfectly. Splat says it was made for you.
Yeah, I know about those things. That's okay. Tell him thank you for the offer. I might wear it another night.
He's looking forward to it, I'm sure.
I'm sure he is.
It's supposed to be a fertility dress, she says, as you leave.
Fertility dress, is it you said?
Yeah.
Oh, bastard. Okay. Sweet. And I'll look over for our barbarian just to make sure he doesn't hear that.
The barbarian is laughing so hard she falls off her horse.
Oh, he does, yes.
Yes, he does.
Oh, God. The comical act of the group, I am. Anyway, I'll wait for us to stop.
And then, when we do stop, Nashru will actually aim to use that couple hours, possibly with Miaru, just to do a bit of a scout out for the first, the initial part of where the best pathway the caravan might follow, because it'll be a bit darker when we're looking down then, and so he wants to know what the pathway is by light, and then plan the route a bit that way. Because that'll make it easier for him to cover the tracks afterwards. So.
Okay, so you managed to do 12 miles in that day with your stopping and starting to let everyone else past you. But you did manage to get 12 miles from the city and get out of view of the city.
Yep.
So you'll probably still see its glow if they have any more fireworks from where you are.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fireworks will be cancelled.
Depends, there might be a celebration.
If the fireworks are still going, that's a good sign.
So, that night you have a starless night.
Okay.
That can be good and bad.
And you can see the moon.
Yep.
It's not a hunter's moon, is it?
It's not very often you can it's not no time in your memory that you can remember seeing the moon but no stars.
That's a bad omen.
So, yeah, just ask Mother.
The
She'll
stars
tell you about
supposed
it.
to be the celestial looking down upon you?
So, but yeah, we'll aim to get at least a few hours movement by night.
Yep.
Nashru will lead the way.
Ooh,
okay.
Okay, I'm ready for we're going to get attacked. This is definitely a bad omen.
And then so basically we'll aim to get a few hours.
Which one's the
off the road?
guide?
The guide is Miaru.
Miaru. That's not a good sign.
I mean, she says it could be worse. The moon could be red.
Don't jinx it.
Give it an hour or so, it might turn red.
In that case, I probably would suggest that we shouldn't be moving during a blood moon.
So, yes, you spend a couple of hours going off the road in the night. Jeremy, give me a survival roll to try to guide the caravan through the night in a safe manner.
Okay. Give me a roll.
So we'll be actually going like quarter speed.
Pretty much.
No. This is normal speed at night.
Yeah, which is normally halved.
Most of them are blind because they can't see unless you're using torches.
So, well, it's okay.
And using torches sort of defeats the let's sneak off the road.
Basically,
that's
people
right.
could see
The idea is that Nashru's got the dark vision, and basically he's leading the pathway as we go along, having already scouted out the path while it was light.
It's not a pathway.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean, a path. So,
okay, so
roll the d20 for me.
Roll a d20. You're the d20 monkey tonight. Another one.
Oh, well, so far I haven't been able to get into the double digits yet. That's a 4.
That's normally what happens when someone at the table rolls for someone not here. So, Jeremy,
yes, this table.
So that gets him 22 on survival.
Okay, so you're struggling to get a decent path for the caravan to pass over because you keep hitting hidden logs or rivets in the ground or ditches because it's not as easy to tell when the grass is more than waist high.
Mm-hmm. And they can't. The horses can't see.
The horses can't see either.
Pity no one can cast like dark vision on the horses.
Though I'll give our goblin a perception roll.
That's a 22.
You do notice that one of the horses seems to be able to see perfectly fine in the night.
Is that the one that the witches happen to be riding in?
No.
What?
The samurai's horse seems to be having no problems walking at night.
Yeah, typical. Of course it has to be the noble.
But his horse looks more like a draft horse than a warrior's horse.
Actually, in
and there's even isn't even a tattoo on its butt that looks in the shape of a dragon.
Okay.
Well, a dragon's head. From profile. Happened in session 1.
So the horse is a dragon?
No, it got hit by a firework. Guy in the head standing next to the dragon and scattered around it, so it had his profile on the dragon's butt.
In Sylvan,
Mm-hmm.
you can see in the dark. Speak to the horse with them.
Its ears twitch. Doesn't seem to notice.
Okay. So it's not a kami.
It sort of turns to look at you and its eyes are glowing a dull red.
Okay, may not be a kami, could be the other. Okay. Yep, I'll leave the horse.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah. Oh, cool. 1 off 20, so that is a 33.
You have flashes of images in your head, and your head just hurts like crazy for a moment. You have no idea what happened.
Okay, I'm going to leave that horse alone. That's not a normal horse. That's a angry horse.
Didn't seem to have any anger in the pictures at all.
No, but it caused me a headache, so...
You also, your eyes are sort of, your vision is swimming a little bit as you're walking.
Okay, I'm now the drunken monk.
It's sort of like someone kicked you in the head very hard.
Yep.
That sort of feeling.
Okay, I think I'll just meditate for a couple of minutes just to clear my headache.
Okay, so you sit on one of the caravans for a while. And so Jeremy, you're doing most of the leading.
So yes, I'm trying to move along. Obviously, let's say I'm finding it a bit harder than I expected at this stage.
Shaylu is trying to help you as...
I was going to say, does Shaylu have any better luck at finding pathway at the present time?
She's pretty much trying to guide people along the path you have so she can get
Okay,
everyone off the road as fast as possible. You have Miaru also doing the same thing, but she's also trying to keep a guard with Kaldar and Sandra on the road.
Yep.
And everyone else is trying to keep the horses and caravans together so they can follow you off the road. It takes about an hour to get everyone off the road.
Okay. So, well, we'll keep aiming to move for another, well, so if it took that long to get off the road, we'll have to go a bit further into the night then to actually keep moving. So, and...
And about every 100 feet, there's a big crack as one of your wagons hits something unexpectedly.
Well, can't be helped.
Well, it happens when you're travelling when you can't see as well.
And we're not on the road.
And about 3 hours in, the moon sets.
Okay.
You see blackness everywhere.
So, well, I can still see, but obviously it's getting harder and harder.
Do you have dark vision or low
I've got
light?
dark vision.
Yep. So
he's got a cavern elf ancestry.
So you're the only one who can actually see at this stage besides the goblin.
Yep. So
And the horse.
Giving it up.
Well, the horse is
giving it up is a bad joke for trying to travel further at this stage. We'll basically stop the caravan when the moon sets, and I'll leave Shailu and Miaru and everyone else might be appropriate to try and make the caravan as less visible as possible, while Nashru is going to go back along their pathway and cover the tracks up since we left the road.
Okay.
So,
Give me
it
a
won't take
perception.
him long to go by the 3 hour mark. So
Give me a perception roll as you do so.
okay. Let's see what you can do, Ross.
Ooh, 18.
So that makes 38.
Okay, as you're going back, you realise that one of the things you managed to hit was a ninja in the grasslands.
Oops.
He's even got the dagger still in his outstretched hand, and looks like the wagons ran right over his back.
Okay. I will take a bit of a scout around. So how far was this from the road?
This was about a mile from the road.
Okay. I'll have a bit more of a scout around the area where he was and look for any evidence of any other ninjas around, and also loot his body and make certain and then toss it somewhere where it's much less likely to be found.
He has a scrap of paper on him with writing in TN. And a picture of the Fisky symbol next to the Anamatsu symbol.
Okay, and the writing says, this is your target, take it out?
Writing says, kill the princess.
Okay. So, excellent. I'll basically be aiming to remove the evidence of him being there, and then, as I say, go back through and cover our tracks since we left the roadside to try and make it less obvious as to where we left and where we've gone.
Okay, so give me some
if there is still time available before dawn, I will. God damn it, Ross.
Wouldn't it be deception?
No, it is a survival roll. You're doing an essential survival check to
cover tracks.
You want to use a reroll for that one?
So that gets 23 on survival as an expert. So
okay, so you think you've done a pretty good job even with that roll.
Yeah, I will. Okay, if there's a bit of time still, I might even try and make a bit of see if there's something I can do for a false trail on the other side of the road, a half mile or something further down from the pathway or something. So
when you get inside of the road, you do realise that there is a bunch of horses there, as well as a wagon with two of similarly dressed men standing there.
And
at the point where you left the road.
Okay. Do I recognise the symbology on the wagons?
You recognise symbology on their ninja garb.
Right. So, and so you said there was some horses in a caravan, did you? And two guys.
A wagon more, so they can carry a bunch of people on a wagon, and there is enough horses here for. You could probably think they could easily have 10 to 12 men here with only 2 men left here.
So you mean 11? Because you've already got rid of one.
Yeah, 9 to 11. Well, in fact, and only 7 to 9 unaccounted for right now, so it's all good.
And you can hear them quietly talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a perception roll.
Perception, yep.
It's one better. 6.
26.
Okay, you can hear them commenting on the ill omen of the darkness.
Yeah, well,
they say that some foul spirit is screwing with their detection magic.
So,
Is that cat or armadillo nearby?
what am I thinking? So at this stage, I can only see 2 ninjas around.
Yep.
So the implication being the others are off scouting for our location.
Okay, so while you're watching, you see a group of ninjas come out of the grasses less than 10 feet from you and walk right past you.
Okay.
And you can hear them saying, can't find any trace of them whatsoever. None of our magic's working.
Okay, well, I will basically sit and surveil them for a while to see what they're going to do when they. So it looks like all of them have gathered back in there's about 10 of them now at the wagon.
They're commenting on how they lost one of their numbers, but they don't know where he went because they can't even trace him with their magic.
Mm-hmm. So, So it looks like all of them are back there. There's about 10 of them, was there?
Yep.
Yep. In that case then, I will just, maintain a hide position and watch them for, the next half hour to an hour and see what they do.
Okay. So as they're sitting there, you hear them talking about how they think this is a false trail, and you guys had obviously left it in a different spot, so they're going to try the other side of the road. It's the side that looks untouched, so if anything, that's probably where you went. So they start heading that way.
Okay.
Their magic at least seems to work in that direction, so... But it is a bit strange to them talking going, we just can't detect crap the other way.
So what they say is, they're the old kid that gets stopped by the gentleman as he's looking at, calling on the side of the road, and the gentleman says, "Oh, what are you looking for?" "Oh, I lost $2. Are you sure you dropped it here?" "No, I actually dropped it further down the street, but the light's better here."
Yeah, so we're dealing with stupid ninjas.
Or ninjas who don't want to deal with the repercussions of their magic not working the way it's supposed to. Creatures of shadow not being able to work in the shadow is not a great sign.
That's right. No, they're just scared. They don't want to catch up to us. That's what it really is.
Yeah, since the princess is now running around in a jumpsuit.
Well, look at it this way, the armadillo has a reputation in this region already. And some of them knew about that as they were coming in.
So you've been attacked. How many times have these ninjas attacked you?
They've killed quite a few members of the party.
Yes. Over the length of this journey, which has lasted many months, we've been attacked by ninjas on many occasions. Including on the other side of the world. They'd come to us before we got here.
That means that somebody's got a lot of power.
Look at it this way, I actually have what day number they're up to. So, they are up to day number 323 of the game.
So nearly a year.
Nearly a year.
That would
Was
take
it 5 days and it's a year? Or was it 328 days and for this to have a year?
While this is all happening, can I talk to Miko about finding another dress, another bit of clothing for myself?
She says she still has her tavern outfit if you prefer that.
So the princess is complaining that she doesn't...
Amiko should recommend that. I'm sure Goya has got something appropriate for her.
Anything to get out of this dress because I'm kind of a bit over the dress. I miss my armour.
Amiko says she's not that easy.
So what are you actually travelling with since you're merchants and that?
You have lots of goods from Russia, from the gypsies.
Okay, so it means
probably a lot of stolen goods as well.
Okay, so it means that we do have some fabric.
Absolutely, there's clothing available.
Okay, I'm going to look for something like a peasant clothing or something like that.
Oh,
Calder brings over her barbarian furs that she used to wear. I can see this on you, she says.
Okay, I'll put them on. Okay. I've got no other choice because I've got nothing else to wear, so... except my winter clothes, which are furs anyway, so... Okay, I'll put them on reluctantly, so...
Okay, as you're putting it on, you can hear Amiko laughing in the background.
Why? What's wrong, Amiko?
Isn't that a marriage proposal?
She just winks at you and says, "Well, I'm glad you like Calder so much. After what you said last time. So good to see you're accepting her gifts."
You accepted my gifts too, I do remember.
Yeah, but the difference is we have different cultures. Do you remember what her culture does?
No. I kind of died a couple of times, so I can't remember much a lot of that area.
Oh, well, you just accepted her proposal. You're wearing her clothes. You're hers now.
I'll look at the barbarian. I don't know. I'll look at the barbarian and go, really? And what do I get from? I assume I get a nod and a smile, I suppose.
It gives you that grin you're used to when you hear the grinding of your skull.
Sigh. Okay. In between camps, I'm going to try to make my own clothing. But until then, that's all I've got to wear. So.
So he's trying to. The princess is trying to make her own clothes.
You're travelling in a caravan with multiple females, including the matriarch.
And most of them females want me to wear something skimpy all the time. That's what I'm getting from a lot of the females. I haven't spoken to Hoya yet, whatever.
Okay, Koya should have been your first stop, really.
But remember, I'm not family too, remember that. So I'm not well liked, I'm not family. So
okay. So the princess is trying to look normal.
I'm trying to look normal and I'm still trying to work out what's happened to my armour and my new armour and all that kind of stuff.
I'm going to go through all the dresses.
So Koya walks over and wraps you on the back of the head.
Hi, Koya.
You should be wearing something more decent, and then wraps you over the back of the head again. Why didn't you come to me first?
Well, I thought Amiko would do the right thing by me.
You hear Amiko burst out laughing again.
Okay, I should have known better, Koya. Can you help me out, Koya, please?
Yes, she just grabs you by the arm and drags you. She's got quite a strong grip when she tries.
Yeah, I can let her put me in whatever clothes she wants me to put me in.
She also has that way of, grabbing you in such a way that you can't resist.
Yeah, I know. So, anyway, I'll get fitted out as a peasant girl. So
you were done up as a travelling gypsy.
Okay, I can live with that.
Lots of layers. Plenty of places to hide things.
Okay, cool. My sword hides pretty quickly. Is it or not?
What was that?
The sword would be too big to hide, wouldn't it?
You could hide it, but it would be too difficult to wear underneath it and pull it out.
No, cool. I'll have that on the.
Yeah, you can't do a Wonder Woman thing.
No.
It's a lot bigger than that, isn't it?
Using your butt cheeks as the sheath is not recommended.
Yeah, it's sword and a half katana, isn't it?
It is a proper katana.
Yeah.
So I'll ask the helm to kind of match the outfit if I can.
We can disguise it as a staff if you want.
The helm is currently sitting as a cat on your right shoulder.
Oh, hello.
White cat. That's glowing.
What's it
Glowing
all these glowing animals?
Well, it has this golden light coming from it.
Okay. So she's got a white cat that glows gold. She has a horse with her eyes glow red,
and a black cat that eyes glow red.
Yeah. So she's favoured by the kami.
We had to get rid of a winter wolf, so you're okay. You didn't have to meet the wolf, so it's okay.
Yeah, you did miss the winter wolf.
Yes.
He
kept chewing on one of my arms from my last death, so or legs, one or two.
Kept asking when he was going to be finished with his current one.
I'll feel more dressed properly. I'll sit in the caravan and wait to see what happens.
So eat the bones.
Okay, so
so Nashu's watching the wagon and the ninjas die from the other direction. Have they left any guards at the wagon this time?
Yes, they still left 2 guards at the wagon.
Okay. Do these guards look good and attentive?
They look fairly attentive. They are watching to the left and to the right down the roads.
Okay. Because, Nashu's just trying to make an assessment as to whether or not he thinks that he could get in and effectively sabotage the wagon so that it'll break as soon as they try and move off, and possibly also the reins on the horses so that they will break easily if the horses try and got the urge to scatter.
Okay, so give me a
So make an assessment of whether I think you can get forward to do that.
perception roll.
Are they relying? Well, the other thing is, are they relying on lanterns to see, or there's no lanterns at all?
They each have some sort of glowing, green glowing
Yeah.
symbol.
So
that they're
basically,
using.
they don't have dark vision.
Well, they don't have dark vision, no.
So give me a perception check.
Okay, that's a 19.
Just a 19.
Excuse me.
So that gives you about a 30 or a 40.
39.
39. Okay, so looking around, you can see that there are quite a few openings. They have their backs to the grass where you are because they're looking the other way, expecting someone to come back across the grassway from the other side, and they're using the wagon to cover themselves for most of it.
Since he wants to disable the wagon, so that makes it a lot easier.
Well, they're on the side between him and the wagon because they're looking the other side. They're hiding themselves from the other side.
Fair enough.
But you could technically take one down without, but you'll be able to take one down without the other noticing because they're watching each other.
Yeah, no. So I did consider the idea of trying to kill both the guards, but decided that was probably unlikely.
But all the horses are staked in the grass near you, which they're not staring at. They can see the horses, but they're not seeing where the horses are staked.
So you can unstake them and unhull.
Oh, okay. So the horses aren't connected to the wagon at the moment.
No, they're not.
Okay. In which case, then yes, I will.
Can he actually lead the horses away?
Not without them noticing, but he can set them free without them noticing.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'm going to go towards the horses. Actually, no. I'll do the horses second. Because the horses might notice me and get disturbed and might notice them. So I'm going to creep up to the wagon itself.
Yep.
And effectively do disable device to sabotage the wagon so that it'll break when they try and move off, like it breaks a wheel or two or something type stuff.
Okay, give me a stealth roll.
Okay.
I think you should re-roll this. That's a 2.
You're really trying to kill me, aren't you?
Well, you're going to be very observant.
Would you like to use a advantage on that roll?
Yeah, we might as well, I think.
Okay, so advantage on that roll. You've got 2 left. You roll again.
That's a 14.
Okay, so that gets me 35.
Okay, so that's enough for you to beat their passive perception as you crawl under the wagon. You have no problems getting there. For a moment there, you caught on something, but you managed to unhook it just before it tripped the guard that it was caught on.
Yep. And then
They had a belt knife, a boot knife that was jutting out.
So
Do you want to take said boot knife?
no, I won't worry about that right now. I'll be aiming for do the disable device on the wagon to sabotage it before it moves.
Give me a disabled device roll.
That's a 3.
Yeah. So that makes it a 24.
24.
What was that?
Okay, so while you're doing this, you have no idea why they have not heard you doing this because this is one of the noisiest jobs you've ever done.
Well, it's still a case of this is how well I'm doing it. Whether I'm still being quiet about it, it's how well I've actually disabled it.
So after about what feels like hours of work, which you then realise is minutes of work, and the fact that you're a hypersensitive elf and they're not elves is to them it was probably the equivalent of grass rustling, but to you it was the screaming agony of metal.
Yeah, as I stated before, they're dumb ninjas.
But that's basically what he gets for the role.
So
The whole paranoia is the whole rogue trait.
So
But you do
So,
manage
yeah,
to
I'm
break
basically,
the.
I'm confident that the wagon will now break catastrophically in some way as soon as it starts to move.
You think it will go for maybe about 10, 20 feet of pulling before it catastrophically fails?
Okay, so now I'll creep back out again, and I'm going to creep over to the horses to then set them free.
Yep.
So yeah, that Mark will say you'll be right back in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I was just seeing what my phone said because in case it was Ariad not asking for help.
Yep.
I have that on in the background. It's the only reason I have my phone going. Yep. So, as you reach the other horses, I'm going to have you do a nature roll to handle the animals.
Okay.
8.
24.
24. Okay, so the animals have no problems with you being there whatsoever. Apparently, they even moved to make it easier for you.
Everybody loves Nashville. So, and then, yeah, he'll basically, will loosen the stake, so therefore it doesn't necessarily look like automatically the horses were cut. It's a case that someone didn't put the stake in properly in bits and pieces, or tie them correctly, and then he'll aim to, if he feels confident with the horses being comfort with him, he'll aim to lead them away quietly. Otherwise, he'll just give them a bit of a push along and move off in the other direction.
Okay, so as you start wiggling the stake loose, you see the horse who's tied to it just reach down with its teeth and pull the stake out.
Okay.
Hey, these horses are smarter than the ninjas.
Okay. Yep. Hey. Well.
See if you can try to just sneak them away.
You wouldn't be able to
I'll certainly aim to lead them quietly initially to see how far I can get before they're noticed at all.
As soon as he starts heading off, the ninjas start crying out, "Hey, stop! Don't you move!" And the horse, obediently stops. They call it NTN.
Okay. I will
Maybe if you
whisper in TN saying, "Hey,
run!
Yeah, go!
Run, you fools, run!"
Okay, at which point it just bolts. As it bolts, it starts pulling all the stakes up.
There were multiple stakes for the horses, were there?
Well, they generally did one stake per horse, but tied them all together.
Right. Okay.
One of those safety things, because if one gets loose, then they're unlikely to all get loose.
Yep.
Unless one of them just happened to bolt while still tied to it all.
Yep. Well, okay. Certainly my intent was to actually effectively loosen them all before they moved, but if they've been recognised and they're on the move, then basically, yes, I'll let the horses bolt, and I will certainly stay still, hidden.
And so by lantern light, you can see them rushing off down the road away from town.
Cursing this bad night.
Oh, there are little lanterns every mile along the road. You can see that there is actually a ghostly lantern nearly every mile at the mile marker.
No. Yeah, I meant there.
The other guys
cursing the night because it's
they are cursing the night because they say that demons taking our horses. Not another, Why can't the demons be working for us still?
And do either or both of them go chase the horses?
They look as the horses run off and they just sigh and kick the wagon.
Oh.
And the wagon collapses on his foot. He screams out in pain.
Well, that's going to get the other attention.
So, I'm feeling my work here is done enough, so I will quietly move away
scene out of American Graffiti or Blues Brothers.
Get back to the caravan.
Okay, so you make it back to the caravan. You have a feeling of wrongness as you approach the caravan. And
things were looking so good. Things things were going so well. Had to change, yes.
Give me a will save.
It appears that everyone's still there, does it? So,
That's an 18.
Okay, so you managed to overcome the feeling of wrongness, realizing that's just Splat in your head.
yeah, okay, well, trying to get in my head again. So that's 36 for Will, so...
So you don't think he was actually in your head, he was just putting out a general feeling of wrongness in the region?
Right. So, okay, yeah, so basically putting out a do not disturb sign. So, that was Mark Honey's back.
Yep.
Maybe Splat can possess the horse.
Splat can possess many things. He is a demon.
As long as he's not starting to sing Rolling Stone songs.
He hasn't yet.
So then, yeah.
But he does like passing out stones.
I'm assuming it's probably approaching light at the moment.
And as you reach the caravan, you see a blood red sun rise.
Much better than blood red moon. That's fine. Yeah. Red sunny morning. Sailor's delight, right?
And the sky looks like a purple haze.
Great. Well, Nashu will explain to the others as to what's happened as far as likely pursuit. Suggest that we cover the heads en route on the caravan, although I don't see it make a huge difference, but based upon the papers that the ninjas have got, we should at least make some effort to separate. And then Nashu is going to find a quiet space in the caravan and go to sleep after we get moving.
Okay, as you're doing your preparation, you do find that each of the wagons seems to have a deeply etched rune from Splat on them.
That wasn't quite the sort of alternative that I was looking for. So,
well, they're not visible. They're all in like hidden places on the wagons. Some underneath,
right.
Some on the roof. One of them under your sleeping mat.
So
So
we'll move the mat then.
Vandalism.
And yes, as I said, working on the idea that the others can handle the daylight travel for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
Nashville is going to get some sleep after having a long day and a long night.
Okay, so you start heading off and you spend a day traveling through the grasslands.
We could try to go to full speed instead of what was it, half speed, trying to hide our trail.
Well, if you try to hide your trail through the grasslands, you're doing 6 mile a day.
Yeah.
But you're not trying to hide your trail at this stage.
Okay. Nashville was suggesting that we probably lost them for now. It'll take them time to try and pick up the trail again from where we were.
That's going to be like
better off
48 days trying to get to the forest.
Possible.
Okay, so
I'll get back on Bruce and pretend to be a gypsy on a horse. So
okay, Bruce seems a lot bouncier than normal.
thanks, Bruce.
He makes your clothing bounce and wave through the air as much as possible.
Is that also the saddles being modified as well?
He does have the princess saddle. Side saddle.
Yes, I'm fine-tailing right now. Okay. I just give Bruce a bit of a pat on his mane saying thank you, Bruce. I know you're trying well. Anyway. I don't expect to get a reply, but I'll just see how we go.
He just, seems to be humming along a tune that you remember.
The Horror song?
Yep.
Yeah. I know the song. That's okay, at least that I understand that he's thinking about me, that's the main thing. So, well, good. I'm starting to get out of my mental state now.
He's happy to lead the procession. He doesn't know where he's going, but he's happy to lead the procession.
I'll be at the front with our armourer friends, so...
Okay.
And I'll just be at the front, just keeping it coming, having a chat. Not trying to talk about my prophecy at all, but just having a chat. So.
Okay, so she seems to be heading you in a roundabout sort of way. You seem to be able to tell that you are curving back upon yourself on various points. As you can even see that the wagons are forming arcs here and there in the grass.
Okay. We are moving forward, but we're just not...
You do seem to be moving forward, but you're not doing it in a straight direction.
Okay, fair enough. I do ask her about this great forest that we're going to travel through. Does she give us some detail what we should expect in there?
Yes, the spirits.
Okay,
And apparently, at least one of your deaths.
not what I asked for, but
I know, no one ever asked for death. But death does
No.
come.
I know,
No one lives
Been-
forever.
been through that before. So, these spirits, are they hostile to everyone, or is it just to certain people?
I could answer yes to both questions.
Okay, so we should see the
Depending
good and the
on where
bad.
we go.
Yeah, okay.
Depending
And
on how you
I'll-
treat them.
Talk to Trivia. Was it Trivia? Is it Trivia, a little fake creature? Is it Trivia? Can't remember.
Spivvy.
Spivvy. And I say,
Spivvy
I knock
looks
on
drunk.
the saddlebag where Spivvy is, saying, "Are you okay, Spivvy?
Spivvy looks drunk still.
Hey, Spivvy, do you know much about this forest?"
She hiccups and you see little glowing bubbles come out of her mouth.
Okay. We
Someone's
need to talk to you
speaking
about
the
your
right
alcoholic problem later on, but that's okay. So, okay. Okay, well, I'll just... and I'll just ask questions on how long she's been an armourer for and things like that, just to get general conversation up.
Well, she says all
I
of her
don't-
life.
How old are you then?
That's not a nice thing to ask another girl, she says, as she whacks you across the ear with her little stick.
I do apologise.
You didn't even see her hand move as you feel it swacking to your ear.
Oh, okay. Point taken. So you must have been doing a lot of this for a long time, I assume.
Are you saying I'm
Well,
old? She says, looking at you rather pointedly.
No, I'm just saying
Just
your
waiting for the
experience.
slap on the other side to balance up a slap on the other.
What?
Yeah,
so
no,
you're
no.
saying I get around a bit, are you? She says.
I didn't say that. I said you're very talented at what you do, it looks like it. And I just wondered how you learnt all your skills.
I learnt it one day at a time.
Okay. But, no, okay. How am I going to be at this without saying the wrong thing?
Well, first she was
Did you
being
learn-
apprenticed from a master,
Did you-
and then
I'm going to say, did you learn from a master, or you learned it by self-taught kind of thing?
Of course I learnt from a master. Who would try to teach themselves to do such fine craftsmanship?
then you'll have
who's
no
your-
one to correct you if you don't learn from somebody who has better knowledge than you do.
You'd make far more mistakes without a master. I'm sure a samurai without a master is as useless as an armorer without a trainer.
I say.
Hasn't the samurai become her master?
No. The samurai's lost his master. His master's been killed, but you don't know that. So,
No, but the samurai is now a princess. So the samurai...
samurai-
She's not officially a
that was
princess
also
but
a Ronin.
But the
and also,
princess actually stated that she's the princess.
because you got mistaken.
Yes, but isn't that then been... your station has now been elevated because you've been acknowledged by a noble?
this armorer knows that I'm not a princess, so it's okay. We don't go that one because I've already been told off by that one. So your master's name? Can I ask your master's name at all?
No, you can't.
Oh, I'm just trying to work out how
What
you.
about your master's mark?
What was that?
If I was going to ask, over time, would you be able to teach me your skills?
I don't know you. Depends on how many times you die. You seem to forget things when you die.
Oh, this is a very hard conversation I'm having right now.
You'll be surprised how hard it is on my end.
Well, I don't like to talk about the future deaths. I don't think it's a nice thing to do. So,
Well, look at it this way. At least you know you'll come out of it.
not the last one I hear, but
Well, that's because you get a choice. Everyone gets a choice.
So that's not. So all these deaths are not written in writing. They could happen and could not happen. Is that correct?
Prophecy is a fickle thing. You can choose to ignore prophecy. You can choose to subvert prophecy. But if you subvert prophecy too much, then the thing that makes that prophecy succeed and enriches the world won't happen.
Gotcha. So okay.
Therefore, you'll be stuck in limbo,
Hey,
haunting
this
the world.
this armor that you made with Splat's help. Why does it keep disappearing on me?
Oh, because you don't want to wear it.
But okay, do I have to accept this armor to wear it, actually show it? That's what you're saying.
No, you just have to want to put it on.
But I've put it on, but it keeps disappearing.
Because you want to take it off.
Well, I tried to take it off once. I didn't realise to do that. No one told me the rules of the armor. I just
That's
saw a
for you
piece
to
of
learn
armor.
as you experiment. I'm not allowed to tell you how it works.
You know, they tell me a lot of things I'm seeing, but
Oh, I tell you far more than I should, and far less than I want to.
okay, point. Yeah, we're not. Yeah, okay. And I'll just move to about 5 minutes to the side. I realise our conversation's not going to last any better than this, so.
Oh no,
I'm kinda
she wanders over with you. She's actually enjoying herself.
Oh no, I'm sure she is. I'm not enjoying it. That's all. So, yeah.
Respond if the princess is in danger.
Armor's not intelligent.
But
Yeah.
the princess is subconscious.
Princess subconscious is. Look at the princess. Don't think it's that intelligent either.
No. Anyway, I'll just have general chit chat and I'll talk about how I met the sword and things like that and all that kind of stuff. While
And then she tells you how she met the sword as well.
you know the sword.
Oh yeah, she met the sword. She was there when the sword first talked.
I asked the sword this. Is that correct?
Yeah, sword knows all about that.
Actually, doesn't.
So you know each other then? Oh.
Says yes. If you tried to use me against her, you would not succeed.
I didn't want to do that. I'm saying, I'm just more intrigued about her background because all I know is
Has she
this
told you her
person-
background?
No.
Then be careful what you ask.
Oh, okay. This is all confusing right now.
That's okay. Die a few more times, and I'm sure it will be make itself clear. I heard the prophecy too. It was an interesting prophecy.
Yeah. Loving it.
Yes,
Loving it to death, as they say. Little them to death, yes.
that prophecy is one of the oldest prophecies I know.
One of the oldest.
Yeah.
But I'm just a simple samurai kid who just decided to travel. Okay. I'm a bit...
What? So
Why
you
this is-
think all those heroes in all those stories you grew up idolizing knew what they were going to do in their life?
Well... No, but thought I would have got some sign of this is going to happen, maybe. But
You got plenty of saying. You got me. You got a quite intelligent horse who was quite gifted and quite willful. You got a love interest who hasn't actually killed you yet, which is a good sign from a Tian woman. You're especially one of royalty. And you've got a second love interest from a barbarian who is having gender issues, but might actually make one of those epic stories that you used to talk about in your dreams.
This is all to him, isn't it?
No, it's saying it out loud.
Oh, cool. Okay.
He can
so,
say it in his head if it chooses to, but it didn't that time.
Okay, so the barbarian's his concubine.
so when I used to portray to...
Well, by the barbarian definition, they're actually betrothed now, aren't they?
Yep, by the barbarian's definition, they're betrothed.
That's right. She took the clothes.
Yeah, when I used to, pray to Shinzuru before...
Yeah, nobility,
Sorts.
multiple marriages, yeah.
Go ahead, Mark.
When they were trying to... so Aurora was going, well, I used to pray to Shinzuru, my, the 10 goddess of sun for, samurais. I thought I would at least got some prior knowledge of this before this all happened, because this is all still a shock to me right now. I'm telling through the sword and everyone. I'm talking out loud in this one. I was like, I'm going. This is all a bit kind of. I thought I was just a samurai. I didn't think it was anything special. Yes, I know. I've picked up yourself. I picked up the helm. I've met people, but it's like.
There's more than that. You opened the box.
Yeah, the sword does say you brought it all upon yourself when you opened the box. You basically called that you were the chosen one to be the bringer of death and also to die many times.
So, and this is out of character kind of thing. So, because I was the only one in that session, that's the only reason I would have opened the box in the first place anyway. Everyone else is away, so this is what's planned.
That's called fate.
No. Because you were the only one in the session is the only reason that you're the only one who's been marked.
That they know of. She hasn't spoken about anyone else's destiny at all.
Can I ask the armor? I forgot her name. I got to write it down.
Miaro?
She hits you on the back of the head and says, "It's Miaro."
Sorry, no, Miaro. Sorry. My master, and I explained my master's name, which was I don't know how it's called, Emperor Shiroguro Hashimaya. He seemed to have got killed by somebody else. Do you know much about that at all?
She does not. An emperor is, there's only one emperor in the region. You're a samurai of the emperor.
Okay.
She just looks at you with a, have you been derelict in your duty?
No, because I heard he passed away, and then therefore I don't have a master anymore. So I'm officially.
But that sounds like you've been derelict in your duty if you passed away and you're still alive.
Is this now going to be like the 47 Ronin?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Well,
yeah.
you do know there's only one emperor in this entire region. Emperor of Minsk.
Oh, so can I just say Lord instead of Emperor? I just put Emperor because it's just the thing. So I assume it was he wasn't Emperor.
I was curious thinking, wow.
Yeah, that's right.
That unexpected.
I just picked a random name out of Japanese mythology, that's all. So
it's okay.
I'll just say Lord.
So just for your perspective, there is only one emperor in TN.
Yeah, okay.
And Amiko is the princess to that throne.
Okay.
And
but there was many
all the lands of
in
TN fall under that rulership.
Okay.
So the prince who you just came through, he's in charge of that city, and he's only allowed to be a prince because they've basically stopped anyone else being a king or queen. So prince or princess is the head of the city or the country.
And the surrounding countryside.
So I assume my master would have been a lord of a region or something like that.
He could even have been a prince.
Could have been prince. So, okay. But I'm just trying to find out what happened to him. Was he murdered because of me, or that's what I was going to ask her. Does she know anything about that?
She says,
how long ago did you abandon him?
That would be her question.
I didn't abandon him. I was told to travel south and visit this tavern. That's all I got told. And I haven't abandoned him. I just didn't make it back in time. From what I suppose I thought he was still alive.
She says south of where? Where did he leave you?
Well, he told me to travel south to our original start city, and I got told to visit a tavern, and you'll know what to do from there. And I'm going.
She points out that the city you're talking about is on the other side of the world.
That's right. So, in the same way that where we've come from, if you were leaving from Tien, you would have either likely gone by boat or northwards from this location to get to.
Yeah, no, I would have came all the way down to that city. I would have originally, but.
Or did you travel through?
No, I travelled by boat most likely.
In this world, there's no way to travel through.
What? There's no portals?
Not really.
No,
not that many portals. Not too mundanes.
Well,
okay. I said
I'm the emperor, so of course it would have access to portals.
So she does talk to you about various things. Going out of her way with the help of the sword to not actually reveal too much about herself.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But always leaves just that little bit of information that says that she knows far more than she's willing to tell you, which is always frustrating for you.
And I do ask her, I said, are you classified as like an oracle of some sort, or is that what?
Are you calling me old again? She says.
Okay, slap me across the back head, please. I do apologise then. Okay.
You feel a soft paw of a cat swatting you on the back of the head.
That's splat.
No, that's the glowing white cat on your shoulder.
Okay. Look, thank you. Sorry to upset you like that. Okay. I'm just trying to work out why this all happened, and I'm not completely sure why. But yeah, look, I said I knew I opened up the box and all that, but I didn't expect this all to just be under me now. That's all. Okay, gotcha. Okay. So I'll just keep walking and just general chit chat as I keep walking at the front. So in my hippie clothes, or my gypsy clothes.
She says she's looking forward to your next form and give you a wink.
Is the sky still purple?
No,
If my character doesn't go postal night, and I wonder why by the end of the session, at the end of this game. Anyway, okay. I pat the gold cat as well and go, thank you for correcting me.
And the cat talks with the same voice the helm does in your head.
I know. Do you like the cat form more than the helm form? I asked it.
Well, it doesn't like being on your head now that you've got another helmet.
Another helmet?
With your armor.
What? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Well, that's going to change a few things. Okay.
Of course, the implication of that is that you're still wearing that helmet.
But I don't have a helmet on right now.
I can see the helmet.
Okay. Can you help me work out this armor, or is that something?
I don't deal with devil magic.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Do I need to talk to Splat then, you're saying?
Well, if you want to talk to your personal devil, that's up to you.
Okay. I'll make it this evening. I'll have a sit down with Splat, with Bruce, and try to work this out. Anyway.
Yeah, heart to devil. I'm sure that will work out fine.
Or is that human, horse, devil? That's how it's going to work out. So, anyway, I'll continue. I'll just ride at the front. Continue to take the front load and just keep an eye out for things. So.
Okay, so Jeremy, what would you like to do once you get yourself up?
Okay, so obviously, next to certainly the morning of travel type stuff will be asleep, getting effectively the 8 hours type sleep.
So you only need 4?
Do I?
Yeah, you
Being an elf.
Elves get shorter sleep, don't they? Right?
I believe they do.
Yeah, but obviously, getting the rest he needs anyway. You'll then also, take the opportunity to talk to Miaru and just confirm the sort of pathway that we're looking at ahead of us, and whether we're expecting to come across any town, villages, any sign of civilization, or we're going to deliberately avoid all that.
She describes the land in front of you in what feels like intimate detail, because she describes where there are ponds, there are animal burrows, there are dips in the ground, and you have noticed that while she's been directing the wagons that they haven't hit anything.
Cool.
But she also says that she can't actually tell where they are during darkness.
Yep. Well, hopefully we won't need to cover by darkness too much anymore. So because Nashu's plan will be that when the caravan does stop, he'll go out to do a couple of hours back trail to try and cover the tracks again on the way back into so basically at least a few miles from camp, cover the tracks leading into camp, and So the idea is we don't expect to come across any other civilization or signs of other people between here and the forest.
I have tried to find a path that would both be hard to follow and keep us away from everything.
Happy with that. That's good. So,
and preserve the land and the world around us as we go.
Sorry, what was that?
Grassland, isn't it?
She basically says she wants to preserve the lands as well, so not damage it by your passage.
Yep. Okay, if she's making it reduce tracks as well, that's also good too. So it makes it much easier to cover it when I'm doing the cover tracks at night type stuff. But then it also then means that in the morning, as part of his preparations and things like that, Nasru will be taking, I guess it's plains law to help his ability to maneuver and navigate around this area as well.
So it seems to make a lot of sense what she's telling you, because she's actually leading you through most of the harder grounds of the grasslands, avoiding all the lowlands where there'd be boggy and water would just trap the wheels. Also, there are no burrows or trees in the areas where she's going, so nothing else to trip you up.
Sounds good. Okay, more than happy for her to be leading the way and following the track and the path. And I'm assuming that Shalelu would support her in that sort of process.
Shirley finds what she's doing completely bewildering because she has no idea how she can see it. She even tells you once or twice, I have no idea what this girl sees. What the hell is she?
It's obviously working. Whatever it is, it's working though, isn't it?
She shrugs and goes, well, as long as it doesn't, glow red at me and try to breach my mind, then she's happy. I almost killed that flying rat a few times.
Now, what's his name? Our halfling and the Eidolon.
Yeah.
They haven't said that Miaru's a Kitsune, have they?
No, they have not.
Okay.
They don't rightly know that either.
I thought what's his name? The Eidolon recognised the kindred spirit or the effect of a kindred summoner type effect.
It did, but they didn't really talk about it, and Avery for once didn't actually tell anyone.
Okay, yep.
It'll be the first time Avery has not blabbed about someone else's secret.
Absolutely. So, certainly, while Nasru hasn't had much opportunity to really see how Miaro work until basically this afternoon in that sort of way, and particularly after Shalelu also says that I don't really understand how she's doing this cracking or halfway closing or things like that. Nasru will probably start to pay a bit more attention, if nothing else, to learn from a parent master on this sort of process.
Okay, so from what you can see, she's doing most of this from some sort of memory.
I can accept that.
You just don't think it's her memory?
Well, that works. That's a bit different the way Nasru works, because he always brings back his own memories when he thinks about what skills he knows. So, but again, okay, certainly Nasru will be interested in learning those and will be keen to pick up any tidbits that she might have. Obviously, it's a bit harder if she doesn't necessarily apparently have skill at the process. It's just she remembers doing it before, or remembers someone doing it before. So.
Okay, so 3 more days pass without anything majorly happening, putting you at 60 miles from the city.
What is the area that the prince actually owns or has control of?
Everything up to the forest.
Okay, so we've got another 37 odd days or something like that.
Possibly. So you have managed to be 5 days out of the city without any major incidents. So at that point, I will be rolling to see if something bad happens to you.
Yeah, so obviously, as I said, Nashru will be aiming to spend the first few hours each night to cover the tracks of the caravan as far back as the time will allow. So, recognising obviously he can move a bit faster than the caravan does, but obviously he then travels at half speed when he's going covering tracks. So,
Miyaru advises against travelling too far in the grass at night.
Well, the other thing is it will make it difficult for you to get back to.
okay.
She says the grasslands are the home to a colony of spiders who only come out at night.
Okay.
And the spiders are size of your horse.
So, so you're saying we got some extra chicken leg again?
Giant tarantulas, she says.
So, well, I think we came across their cousins as we came across the Northlands, and they were good eating on those.
Yeah, they
we'll
were
avoid them if we can.
They were the runts of the litter.
Okay, I'm happy to avoid if we can, and certainly yes, if we've travelled through their terrain apparently safely, I guess it makes it less likely someone's going to be following us.
It does, because they can't approach us at night without a light source. They will stay away from the light. So make sure from now on the caravans are well lit at night.
Well, assuming we've got no civilization nearby, that should not be an issue. So.
Well, look this way, if there's any civilization, they'll have a light source or they'll be dead.
Yep. So.
And apparently your little demon is keeping things away at night.
Well, I suspect that he had some influence over the people who were following us as well, but I won't tell him that.
I think he already knows.
But what I'm saying is that he doesn't necessarily know that I know.
Have you managed to get much from the little kobold wannabe?
I have not had the opportunity to speak with him much so far. Did you do you know his background, or why it was that you were keen to have him come along?
He has a part to play.
So, well,
someone's got to choke the dragon.
Certainly, if there's no requirement to be covering tracks at night, then I can certainly take the opportunity to spend more time around the campfire
Did you say choke the dragon, Martin?
Yep.
I saw you giggle on the screen then. Yeah, okay.
Well, there was a prophecy to be eaten by a dragon.
Okay. And look on the bright side.
Many different ways, that's all, okay.
Look on the bright side. It means that you'll probably, it may be one less death for you.
Yeah.
If he chokes the dragon.
Wow, one less death. Oh, wow, that's going to be so good. So sarcastically said so much there. I give the biggest greasy you ever seen Aurora give you has been given right now. It's like, yeah, thanks, Nashru. Appreciate that. Yeah, no problems.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're the one that asked about Destiny.
I didn't ask for Destiny. I got told. I never asked for this. I just got given it.
But you asked to know about it.
No, I didn't ask the actual armor. No.
Was he given the box or he asked for the box?
He took the
No,
box.
I opened the box, and I found out about everything.
He claimed the box. He opened the box.
Well, yeah, you're responsible for your actions. So that is your action of claiming the box, which is now your destiny.
Well, and
I'll-
obviously,
Yeah.
obviously, you were always destined to open the box, so that's okay.
I look at our new friend and going, yes, this is why a lot of people don't make friends with me, and I'll just walk away. Yeah, okay.
You can sort of hear laughter throughout nearly the rest of the camp as you walk away like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there are 2 meows
Remember-
coming from behind you.
Remember, don't go too far in the dark, will you?
I'm not going in the dark, no. I'm assuming it's still day when we do this. I just go back to the caravan and sleep.
Okay, as you do that, 2 cats come into the caravan with you.
2 cats.
Yep.
I'm black and one white.
Yep. One glows with a golden radiance, and the other one has red glowing eyes.
Now, Splat, can you explain
yin and
something
yang.
for me?
Splat just looks at you. Give me a will save.
Yeah, I know that's going to happen eventually. I knew this was going to happen when I keep asking about this armor. I have no idea how it works yet. 27.
27. Okay, you have a series of images flash so fast from before your eyes you have no idea what happened. You have this really bad headache, but you're completely unaffected by what Splat gave you.
Well, at least you think you're unaffected.
Now, okay, Splat.
And Splat tail twitches happily and it walks out.
And I look at the helm and all the, and I go,
The helm starts
Yes.
cleaning himself.
excuse me, helm. Can you have a second?
It sort of looks
His
at
name's-
you. Its tail
his name's
points in
not Helm.
irritation.
Well, it hasn't got a name yet. We haven't even ever given it a name. So
It sort of just glares at you and then gets up and walks out. It does have a name, and you were told the name. You should have written it down.
You got told the name many times, particularly when you
Yeah.
first met.
when I haven't got that written down anywhere.
The angel's name?
No, we never got told the angels. I swear we did.
Yes, you did. It was a Gagol or something or other type stuff or something.
Seagull.
Okay, I'll go back to the book.
No. I'll leave it with me. I've got to go back and find it. It's all good.
Not that one.
Actually, I think it started with 8. And it had 1, 2,
Oh,
Hazel.
hell,
probably about 5 syllables.
Yeah.
Helgabel.
I go. Okay.
H-E-L.
And then I say that on the way out. I say that on the way out as soon as the cat walks out the door.
H-E-L-G-A-R-B-A-L.
See?
Okay.
Started with 8, had about 5 syllables, and sounded like Agagol or something.
I'd just shake my head and go, "Oh, maybe
Right,
this shit just."
yin and yang.
Well,
I don't know.
what I find amusing about the idea of the helm taking a
Each
cat
shoulder?
form that lives on his shoulder is that now he gets both the angel and the devil on the shoulder.
Yeah.
That's partly why it's taken on the same form as Splat for you.
Exactly.
Okay. I just rolled a will save myself
Match by
because I'm about to lose it again. So I'm going. "Oh, I can't keep up with this, and this is on count sleep. So yeah.
Okay, so you have a sleep filled with many feelings of being walked all over.
Yes, and I wake up and there's Splat next to me, right?
Oh no, walking all over you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, 2 cats have walked all over me. Yes, okay, got your point. Okay. So, okay. At night I'll help out Nashri putting torches around the caravan as well, just in case.
Be careful with that because it will pick up a lot. This won't be picked up by their mic, but that mic will pick it up as if it's playing next to it no matter where you play it in the room.
Ooh.
It's a theatre mic. So if you whisper near the door, they'll pick it up on the mic. So that's why I generally don't have people play music, whereas this music here is completely cut out. They don't hear any of that whatsoever. I was just mentioning to Ross about playing music off his phone.
Yep.
So yes, back to you wake up without any problems, and while he's sleeping, what does our little kobold dressed person and our elf want to do?
Well, the princess wants to look normal, doesn't want to look flashy in that. So I'm just going to go through all the dresses and find anything that's appropriate. If not, probably find something that I can actually make into a commoner's dress, but well made.
Do you want to do a TN style?
Yeah.
Okay. So that would be a craft check.
Yes. Unfortunately, it's not really my specialty, but I'm still good at it. Okay, that is a...
Do you have the formula for making a dress?
No.
Then you cannot make one.
You need formulas to make dress?
You need a formula to make any item.
Oh, okay.
Do you have the basic formula book?
No.
Because you can use that to make any of the common items.
Okay, I didn't know about that.
That's from me going through and writing down how do you craft items that's throughout the entire book.
Oh. I was just
So
reading.
there is a single craft book that you can buy and that has the patterns for every common item in the equipment book.
Oh, okay. I thought that comes with the skill that I've already...
It doesn't come with the skill, you have
Okay.
to buy it. It is a separate thing.
So how much was the book?
I don't know, I think something like maybe 100 gold at the most.
Holy shit.
So Jeremy, what are you doing while I'm looking this up?
Basically then, okay, so he's working on the idea that he doesn't need to do too much activity at night, so Nashville will aim to basically take on the forward scout role, working with Miaru to ensure that we're not surprised if we're moving along.
I can make junk items with no problems.
You even need a formula to make junk items, unless they're just jury rig stuff.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, so you have no problems looking ahead, especially considering it's a lot easier to move ahead the way she's travelling.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd have to look up specifically where that is, but there is a specific gear that you can buy that has all the basic formulas in it.
Okay, well, I would have ones. I do actually have the artisan's tools. That's just basically.
Okay, actually it's only 5 silver pieces. Formulas for all 0 common items from this chapter can be purchased collectively in a basic crafter's book.
Oh, cool. So 5 silver. Yep, I'll definitely want that.
So yes, you can have a 0 item level, which means you can't craft at a higher level. So from a clothing perspective, that is, you can make ordinary explorers or fine or winter clothing, but you can't make high fashion.
I don't want to make high fashion.
To make a high fashion item, you specifically have to buy the pattern for what you're making. Yeah. Just so you know, that was how it works.
Yep. Cool.
Do you have a copy of the book?
Yeah.
Look for page 293 on formulas. That's the basic thing, and then you can have a look at my Pathfinder 2 on crafting items, because it has everything you need to do about crafting.
So was it 292?
292 formulas. And you'll see a little asterisk next to 0, and that represents that buying that one item represents all the 0 items you can get.
Okay.
That are in the core book, none of the TN specific items. So, Jeremy, while he's doing that crafting, you get to have a bit of time dealing with any of the NPCs if you wish to.
Yep. So, actually, the one I'm probably going to try and talk to is, he's interested in trying to talk to Miaru to gauge a bit more information about basically who she is, how she knows the stuff she knows. Find out about this forest of spirits that we're headed towards.
Okay, so she does tell you she knows a fair bit about the forest of spirits, because she has been there before.
Well, I was hoping so. You said you could. You knew a pathway through it. So.
Okay, so the basic thing she tells you, which some of the others had picked up before, is that the forest has existed since the dawn of all things. and people generally don't go there. People don't go there, nor do they cross through it, as it is known to be haunted. And the main road they have from Hanagai, where you are, to Minkai is called the Spirit Road, which bypasses the forest rather than entering it.
Yep, but we found out the Spirit Road was covered with the forces of the Emperor, who were under control of the Oni or the Five Storms, whatever, wasn't it?
That is correct. And that the Kami, who are the spirits of the forest, protect the natural world.
Okay.
And so you do get, from the way she talks, that her beliefs are along the same line as the Kami, because the way she moves, the way she directs things, the way she interacts with everything is all about preservation and protecting.
Mm-hmm.
And she moves far more graceful than any practice elf you'll see.
Mm-hmm. So, yes, there's something certainly not quite natural or way too natural about her.
Well, everything she does, from cleaning, cooking, and all that sort of stuff, has the feel to you of someone who's done this task so many times that it is simple. So the way most people see elves as being unearthly graceful, because you've spent so many years learning to walk, that you walk in such a way that is most efficient. So everything she does has the look of efficiency far beyond that what most elves achieve in their lifetime.
So, but she appears to be human.
She appears to be a human child of indeterminate age.
Uh-huh.
She looks to be somewhere between the age of 12 and 18.
Okay. So she's been talking about the spirits of the forest. Does Nasru know anything of these spirits or how they apply in the TN world?
You've not dealt much with the teen world, but you have heard that they are ruled by their belief in the spirits, much like most people believe in the avatars of gods. They basically see the spirits as their godly avatars. So they are the messengers of the gods.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, it's more than, or like, it's a different connection to nature than what a druid would have.
It would be a different connection because a druid would talk to the nature itself, whereas the spirits of nature are basically the equivalent of the gods taking a hand.
Okay. Yep.
And most of the druids crying foul. That's my stick.
So,
That's where shamans come in.
So she does seem very strange, and basically as much off-putting to you as she is to Shayla. She just doesn't. She just doesn't fit in her form.
right. But from what I understand of the spirits that she talks of, she doesn't appear to be of that ilk.
She does not appear to be one of the nature spirits.
Okay, but obviously she has a strong connection with them.
And appears to have a long history with them too. She doesn't seem to make a distinction between days, seasons, years, centuries. So she's far more elf-like in her perception of time than anyone else you've met. But even her perception of time makes the elves look hasty.
Right. So,
Are the Kami known for kidnapping humans? That's just a
The
Fae.
Oni are known for kidnapping humans.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of more of the Fae type thing, but that's only a European thing, not an Asian thing.
The only fit very much a lot of the darker spirits.
Yeah,
But the only are a same type of spirit as a kami, but their interests are different, not their potential.
So I guess, yeah, in answer to your question, when you look at the European folklore type stuff, yes, some of the spirits or some of the fae are the types of ones that might steal children or whatever bits and pieces, but they're often confused with being most all of them, whereas the Tien basically treat the kami and the oni as, the kami tend to be good spirits and the oni tend to be bad spirits. Is that right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
All the sense of nurturing spirits and oppressive spirits. So don't think of nurturing as technically good, and don't think of oppressing spirits as technically evil. But the overbearingness of each can actually be quite smothering in their own right.
Now, so you're talking about the fact you suggested the fact that the kami are sort of in some ways what we would think of as immortal godlings or whatever type stuff.
You'd think of the kami more as you would the herald of a god.
Okay.
So you wouldn't think of them as a god themselves. You'd think of them as the herald itself.
Yeah. Okay. So so the people will worship them in the sense that they don't want they have great influence over those that have great influence over them.
Yep.
Okay. So, okay. So obviously we've got several days of, a few weeks of travel before we're going to reach the forest anyway. But yeah, certainly Nashville will be aiming to find out as much as he can about the travel pathway ahead of us, and then also into the forest. Find out what to expect in the forest itself, which I think we've probably already got some of the information already.
Okay, you do find out from Miaru that you have something that you need to do in the forest.
Aside from get through to the other side?
Yes.
So let me guess, this is the cost for passage.
Pretty much.
So what does the kami wishes to do?
She does not know. She just knows that they have a price. That you are the only ones who can pay.
Well,
Sounds
but also
like
that's
something
not,
that the kami can't interfere with. So in that case, it's something outside that the kami can normally handle.
I get the impression that yes, the interactions with the kami will often be a bargaining situation.
Yeah, but it means that it's actually a foreign problem, not a...
She does also say it is kamis and oni have their rules.
Okay.
A rule defines a spirit. Without the rule, there is no spirit.
Cool. That's good to know that the oni are not totally chaotic.
Or at least they certainly have limitations put upon them.
They still have to follow rules.
They still have to follow rules, but just because they have a rule doesn't mean you know what the rule is.
Yeah, that's the problem.
The rule makes sense to them. Doesn't make sense to much of us, but it makes sense to them.
So, basically, if we know what the rule is, we can exploit that.
You can, yes. Finding the rule
Is the hard part.
Harder than finding a demon's name.
So, does Miaru
that's lovely.
know anything more about the situation of if the Emperor has been controlled by the five Watset, and does she have any information about what's going on basically on the other side of the Forest of Spirits?
She has not been that way for a while, she says, looking rather wistfully in that direction. It would be nice to visit home again, but I am unsure if that is in my future.
And where is home?
I come from Minsk, she says, the place where you're heading.
Well, if it is within your future, we would be more than happy to have you accompany us.
If it is so, it is so, she says, looking a bit sad at the thought.
And yeah, that will certainly lead into other conversation with Nashru, aiming to find out more about her, find out about her background, the fact that she's apparently been building armour for quite some centuries, on the fact that she built this armour for Aurora prior to being expelled a couple of centuries ago. So, and basically, he'll be interested in finding out about her as much as she's willing to tell. So,
Okay, so from her interesting discussions with you, I'm going to give you a check to see what you can perceive.
okay.
Once I can figure out the correct skill for it.
I'll roll
it is
away
the
there, Ross, and see
perception.
we're getting somewhere nearby.
Give me a perception roll for him.
7.
Apparently it's a 7.
27.
Okay, so you are able to navigate some of the evasion and conversation changes that she's making towards you. And you're able to gather that she is probably over 1,000 years old.
Okay. I certainly won't press it on the age in that sort of sense then, but...
And that she can only return home once.
Hey, Mum.
Yeah?
It's Mark here. I'll probably have to head off. I'm about to fall asleep at the desk here, so...
Like character
So
as well? Character snores away?
Snores back in the caravan. I'm too tired to drive the horse anymore. So.
Okay, sorry about your arm being so sore from all that fishing.
Yeah, I know. I think I got up at 4 o'clock this morning, so I'm a bit tired now. So
Go rest.
So, no problems, guys. Thank you very much, Jeremy. I'll
Have a
talk to
good
you tomorrow.
night. We'll catch you next time.
See ya.
So yes, you do gather that she does not expect to survive returning to the city.
So if one spends a lot of time with the Kami, would they actually have the same issues with the Kami, which they get bound with their own laws?
With great power comes great responsibility. That's all she tells you.
In other words, yes.
You do think that the more power you gain from the Kami,
The
more you're restrained you are. So the more godly you become, the less you can actually do. Which is sort of, a disappointment. You imagine, yes, I can do absolutely anything I want as long as I do this one thing. What's that one thing? Well, if I tell you, I can't do it.
Yes, I'll throw a bag of rice at you.
Okay, so yes, you do have...
Well, that works for Oriental vampires. What was I thinking of? Another topic that I'll be interested in, Meow might have more information on will be, exactly what her... She's obviously got good understanding and knowledge of what the Kami are, or do, and conversely, whether or not she knows about the Oni and potentially the forces or the foes that are opposed to the return of the Amaterasu Scion.
She says she's not allowed to talk about any of that. That's in the side of stuff that only the Kami can release her from.
Okay.
She's happy to take you to the to them and see what they will say.
Well, we shall certainly speak to them when we get to them, and enjoy the journey and the company in the meantime.
Okay, so another 10 days pass as you travel through the grasslands. Luckily, you stocked up on a lot of food. Having been told just how far it was you were going.
Yeah, it's going to be at least 40 days.
And you've gone 180 miles from the city at this stage.
Okay. Is it worth doing any? Is the countryside such that it's worth attempting any foraging as we travel?
She discourages foraging.
Yeah.
She says you just don't know what you might get caught by as you do so. She can only discourage the natural things for so long.
Yep. Okay. Well, certainly yes. If we've got the food suffice at the present time, then yes, happy to maintain our pace and our lack of disturbance upon the land. So.
Plus, the not killing things has actually a way of honouring the Kami.
Okay.
So, abstinence does help your quest to ask nature for help.
Well, more than happy to continue along that pathway there. So, I'm sure if worst comes to worst, the Spivvy and Koya can come up with some good berries or the create food and water type fix.
They both have create food and water. They're able to make some very nice tasting paste.
Indeed.
Wouldn't want to offend anyone by making it look like anything.
Well, I'm sure we've got herbs and spices from the TNT that will, I'm sure, can spice up anything.
Yes, you do. And you got quite a few good cooks. You do notice that Miyaru has her own tent for the night, which she carries in some sort of bag. But the bag itself doesn't seem to have much in the way of weight.
Right, yeah. So it's a tent that looks much bigger than the bag when it's than it should be.
It does.
So,
But it also seems to have far more in it than it should. It's an entire armor stand.
Fair enough.
So if you need any armor improvements done, she's more than happy to assist people who would like to improve their lot in life.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Which reminds me, actually, do we know whether or not the bow that the prince gave us on the second or third night was anything special? Nashru's got the efficient quiver, but I don't know if the bow was actually more worthwhile than his +1 short bow at the moment.
It was a expertly crafted bow, which meaning it means that you can magic it up without further work. You cannot magic up a so it can take a +2 enchantment.
+2 enchantment, yeah, okay.
So,
but it doesn't have it at the moment itself, though. So.
It doesn't have it at the moment, but it is capable of taking it. You cannot put a +2 enchantment on a expertly crafted item.
Yep.
But you need an expertly crafted item to put a +1 enchantment on. So someone who's just trained in making items cannot make a magical item.
Yep.
Because training is considered poor quality.
Yep. So,
Expert is standard, Master is high quality, and then the Legendary is pretty much superb.
and is it a short bow or a long bow?
It is a short bow. It's specifically a short bow.
Yep, okay. Nashu's happy that he's got the efficient quiver, so...
It does say
he's
composite
happy.
short bow, but I'm not sure if composite exists at the moment.
Okay, well, anyway, it won't make much difference as far as we're
Master
concerned.
made
So.
Well, I should say, a legendary person made it.
Yeah, it depends on if there's anything, a composite statement.
Where the Pathfinder 2 brought in composite bows as opposed to...
It does have composite short bow, so it is an actual composite short bow.
Okay.
So it is an expert quality one. I said master quality one.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives you no particular bonuses, but it does mean that you can put runes up to legendary quality on it.
Yeah.
I think that's any rune up to 16th level can be transferred to the bow.
Okay. Right, so I'm assuming that my current short bow is an expert quality because it's already a +1, so...
Which means you could actually transfer the enchantment from your short bow to the composite short bow if you wish to.
Although, do we have an effective weaponsmith?
You have a master, a legendary crafter with you at the moment, technically.
So, because I know that, well, obviously we know that Miaru is a good armor smith, but that's not necessarily the same. But obviously we also know that she's had the opportunity to become master of a lot of things if she wanted to. So.
Well, you do find out that she has made just many things that you'd never even heard of.
Mm.
She describes things that are just a fleeting memory.
Cool. So, Nashu's certainly happy to talk to her and expand upon his knowledge.
It's very much like talking to one of the elder elves that you have rarely spoken with.
Mm-hmm.
So much that they could tell you, so little they actually give up.
Yes. But that's all right, because Nashu quite enjoys that game of with the conversation of trying to read between the lines that are given.
And every little thing they say is always pointed and many-edged. Mm-hmm. So that they sometimes say that a statement from one of them is like a 3-edged sword. And most people go, but swords normally only have 2 edges, not the way they make it. And so you are unsure exactly how much of it is her being a great liar, as many a person of such long life could be, or if it's actually part of her history or an ancestral history, or it's very hard to tell because she does use different names for different times of her life.
Okay, cool.
How strong is Shalelu?
Shalelu is fairly strong.
Because, I mean, it's sort of thing that Nashu's more than happy to have his +1 rune transferred onto the composite short bow, but it won't make much difference to him right now because his strength he's got to get up to 15th level before it'll make a difference for strength purposes. Whereas Shalelu, depending on what weapons she's already got, obviously, may get more value out of the composite short bow.
I was just checking to see what you need to use the composite. So is that propulsive?
Okay, the composite...
You add half your strength.
All the skills are the same, but you add half your strength because it's propulsive. You add half the strength to damage. So, whereas a standard bow, you don't get any strength modifier. Now, but because Nashu's only got 12 strength at the moment, it wouldn't... Oh, actually, it might just round up when you do that.
Though the round down does hurt.
You had half your strength modifiers positive to damage yeah, so that's right. So it's round down normally. So
she has a strength of 12 as well. She matches you.
Okay. Well, in that case, then Nashru's quite happy to claim it as his prize. It came when he demonstrated his archery skills, along with the quiver. And if Miaru is capable of transferring the +1 rune onto the composite short bow while we travel, that would be much appreciated.
Okay, so you do notice she has quite a lot of skill with weaponsmithing and has no problems transferring it. You do also... You get to make a perception roll at this stage, so Ross can make it for you. I just want to see if you did notice.
That's a 7.
27?
You do notice that she doesn't seem to sleep. You've never caught her sleeping.
Gives her plenty of time for crafting there. So,
She doesn't even seem to do the elven rest and meditation.
So, well, all these little tidbits are going together to try and think, what is she?
Okay, so we have...
So, with the making runes and that, is that
Yep.
using artistry? Or...
adding runes to items?
with them...
It's a craft roll and you need to be able to make magical items. You either have to know the formula to put the rune on, of the rune itself, or you need to have it on a runestone and transfer it.
Okay.
You can basically rub a rune off an item onto a runestone and then rub it onto another item.
Cool.
So
Okay, I'm going to watch it intensely. I do have great magic items, but I don't have anything to empower it, so I could just make it, but then I need somebody to empower it at the moment.
And you also need someone to have the formula for what you want to do.
But I'm still going to do it. Because, yeah, I'm great with anything that's sort of like making jewellery and things like that.
She seems to be pretty good at transference. So Jeremy, it only takes her about a week to transfer your enchantment.
Okay. Well, I thank her for that most profusely. So, and yes, I don't think I'm pretty happy with my Shozoku of the Night Wind as my current armour. I certainly would have better to change it to right now. So.
Yes, I think that's the one that actually... have I released that? How that works yet?
I don't think you have, as far as I'm aware. I basically... I made it in the Hero Lab thing that basically treated it as a custom armour that would normally give a +1 armour bonus, and then it's got enchanted to be another +1, so it gives the two the total armour bonus of 2, like the original item did, and it's got the shadow property, so you get in this case the +1 bonus for stealth, and I've given it currently the Vanishing Coin Talisman, just to represent the fact that, well, you can do invisibility once a day. So.
Well, if you have a look at it tomorrow, it actually drops tomorrow. That is tomorrow's item. And I can actually give you a preview of what it actually has. Where is it? Because you actually got most of it correct.
Oh, good.
So basically, the rules. It's I clicked on the wrong one. Not that one. So it is built from +1 potency, explorer's clothing done as a ninja's outfit, greater shadow, invisibility, and resilient. So it's a black bodysuit worn by ninjas and assassins. The same as an explorer's outfit with a +1 resilient greater shadow armor.
Oh, greater shadow. Okay, I only got a shadow. So.
If you have access to the ninja vanish trick, you can use that trick twice per day without spending focus.
Yep.
And for 2 actions, you can once per day, if you're not in bright light, use the invisibility spell.
Yep.
So it's not a specific limitation. It is the same as the spell, but you cannot do it in bright light.
Yep, that's right. Yep. So I had noted mine on there, like on my thing. I do, the vanishing coin to remind of ability to become invisible once per day if in less than normal light.
But you must invest in it in the morning.
Yeah. Well, hey, considering the total number of magic items that we've got, I think that everyone invests in all the items they're investing.
Which means no one else can use the item. And unless you invest, and if someone's invested in it for that day, no one else can invest in it and gets it.
So how many items can you invest in?
I think it's 10.
10.
And so the main investment items are armor.
Or items that you wear.
Yeah.
In some way.
Amusingly, weapons don't fall under investment mainly.
But that's right. Weapons often don't, but any item you wear normally would. So
Weapons that you carry are intelligent.
rings, bracelets, boots, all those sorts of things normally need investment. So, but yes, considering I don't know many people in the party have got more than half a dozen, I would think would be the outside numbers of magic items total. I suspect people can invest everything they've got to invest.
So I built that as a 9th level item, which is why it was Greater Shadow.
Cool.
So the reasoning behind that was that it was everything else brought it up to that level. So it seems silly to have a lower level rune when you should have a rune of equivalent power to the level of the item.
I'm happy with that option.
Yeah, that was the rationale behind it. So you'll see the new format I have for it, similar to what went out today for the Pathfinder gaining renown and fame.
Cool.
I'm cleaning up the look and feel to make it look a little easier to read.
Yep. I've noticed there have been some changes. So yeah, okay. Obviously, Nashua will also be keeping up his relationship with Mum and brother and Amiko and Shalelu and all those as well. But yes, certainly Miaro is his current person of interest because she's so interesting.
Okay, so she has a lot of interest talking with you. The next 10 days seem to pass without even noticing, as you both have deep conversations with her. She seems to have a lot of conversation with Xanis as well, and also seems to talk to Avery. Seems to have time to talk with everyone.
And so it's certainly something that, in Nashu's case, he had planned on taking effectively Plains law each day, each morning, to help him get through. But after a few days of conversation with Miaru, he'll actually specifically take a few other laws to actually make him seem more worldly and wide-read.
Yes, it would be an interesting thing for a young elf to come across someone who looks younger than him but is way older.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I am used to having people misunderstand your age.
Well, it would be a first for your character.
Misunderstand someone else's age.
So you find yourself 300 miles from the city, 25 days into the plane.
Cool. Yeah, so I'll basically be out talking to her about artistry and things like that. Find out what her knowledge level is. And
well, she seems to know a fair bit about the making of items. She seems to have specialised as a crafter. And give me a intelligence check. So that's a flat check, not a bonus. So make a flat check, D20 check.
That's a 19.
19 on the dice?
Yep.
Okay, so on a 19 on the dice, some of the stuff she talks to you about in crafting, you've read about as some of the crafters who inspired you to get into making things.
Cool.
So people who have inspired you your entire life seem to be either something she's worked on or worked with, without her actually saying she was the person who made it. Always seems to dance around who was actually making it, but has intimate knowledge in just about everything that inspired you.
Well, in that case, I would probably drop some names and see her if she does any reactions.
She's very good at not noticing when people drop names, but she does correct you on occasion.
Oh, pronunciation.
Pronunciation, time frame.
I am always.
And sometimes calls the person that you've really adored as an idiot. But generally not directly to you. You can sort of hear when she walks away. You can hear her saying.
But the thing is, the books can only portray whoever wrote it from their views. That's the problem. So if
most of them were written by the people who you were inspired by.
Yeah, just that's what I'm saying. If she's probably saying an idiot, she's probably knows who they put personally, or disagrees with their philosophy.
And she does. You do see a big ingrained philosophy in her of nature and natural world. All her clothing seemed to be made from a naturally growth or design or extension of nature.
Okay.
Not the usual materials. They all look like they would have been sustainably taken. You decided to join in now, have you? Yes. Apparently we now have the white cat.
Woo!
It only took how many hours for him to join in? 3 hours to join in? And he's decided to take his seat. We'll just wait and see if he actually sticks his head over the table. No, he's just sitting on the seat. Okay, so yes.
No, he's not going to become a smug cat.
He sometimes does it. Yeah. So yes, you do find that she has worked with artisans dating back to people who inspired those who inspired your heroes.
Cool.
Or she has stories of them. Bit hard to tell sometimes. She seems to be a lot less guarded the closer you get to the forest. Also seems a lot happier as the distance seems to be painful to her.
That makes sense.
At one time when she particularly pleased to be getting closer to the forest type stuff, I will point out the fact that, well, whilst I can understand a wistfulness to return home, I certainly get the impression that you've made at least a very new home for yourself here. If you still consider Minsk your home, then I feel that this certainly has an uplifting effect upon you.
Minsk is more my homeland. But home is wherever you take it, and I carry my home with me everywhere I go.
Indeed, indeed.
Yes, it's very important.
As do I. It's the advantage of having my family in the caravan with me.
It's been a while since she's travelled with her family.
Okay.
She's only had a kobold to keep her company for a while, and even he isn't really a kobold.
Well...
But she did have fun making his head.
It is a very pretty head.
Well, at least no one's tried to kill him recently. But again, short-lived, blink of an eye.
Well, you have to live life as the fullest.
Well, I think, look at it this way: a goblin can achieve as much in levels as an elf can, which is quite scary when a goblin lives for about 30 years and an elf lives for about 800.
Yeah. That's because elves are not energetic.
Well,
They suffer from being a sloth.
It certainly proves the fact that goblins will seize the day every day.
Yes.
One must.
Because
Never let a day go to waste.
another. For you, each day is a loss.
Unless you go down to the frowned upon arts.
Even then, you still have a limited time.
True. But a longer time.
Longer time, true. But the fact that you're probably... How old's your character?
Yeah, I'm 16.
16. You are an elder of your tribe by that age.
Yeah.
Which means that you would most likely be killed off within the next year or two if you remained with them.
Yeah.
We need a new elder. How do we get rid of the old elder? Stab. Old elder gone, new elder in. Out with the old, in with the new.
Yeah. Knowledge outlived curiosity and knowledge outlived that type of thing.
Okay, so you do have long conversations with her, and you find that 35 days in, you're still not at the forest.
But we've still seen no sign of any pursuit or any concerns?
Well, staying off the road meant that, and only travelling during the day, gave you huge benefits in travel.
Yep, that makes sense. Yeah, and obviously going where people aren't. So.
And you've also noticed that you've not had a single star the entire time you've been travelling.
Now, I will ask Miatu if the...
Not even a morning star?
if
Even Lucifer.
the stars do not normally shine on this side of the world?
She looks up, says, normally they do, but you take a demon of darkness with you.
Yes. So...
The lights do not shine on such demons.
So, well...
You were hidden from many things because of your affiliation with the demon.
Scrying is one of them?
Scrying is one of them.
I was going to say, I would say the my family's affiliation, it's certainly not an affiliation I've accepted.
Well, you've not accepted it, your family has accepted it, and you haven't dealt with it. I admit that it is useful, but letting any evil live can technically be accepting the evil.
So, indeed. And it is certainly a just concern. However, I guess I try and live with the idea that, well, if I can't save my family directly, maybe I can save many others from evil by destroying other evil.
It is a honourable path you take in that sense. Though bound to come against you at some stage.
Isn't it?
I recognise it is losing proposition in the long run, but
so far I don't know about the fact that he's actually gone around killing things.
Okay, so sometime during the journey, the armadillo comes up to you and hands you a rock.
Okay.
You know it's the familiar of the witch. The one they call Splat.
Yeah, that I thought you. Yeah, that just got me confused. That you saying that the rock is the yeah.
No. The armadillo is offering the armadillo with the black armadillo with red eyes is offering
the
you
one
a
that
rock.
I've been trying to basically avoiding. So, what's the similarity with the rock?
Do you accept the rock?
I'm just trying to work out.
He doesn't explain anything, and no one else explains anything.
Well, not unless you ask. And then it might depend upon who you ask. And of course, it also depends upon whether or not you've accepted the rock before or after you ask.
Do you accept the rock?
The armadillo is offering me a rock. What's...
He'll be doing it while no one else was around to advise you.
What type of rock is it?
It's a small little round rock.
But is it polished?
It's smooth. It's not polished.
But it is smooth.
Yeah. Perfect for throwing and hitting things with.
Okay. So I'll do the traditional, was it the three things, so you refuse the first time if you're off the game.
So you intend to accept it if it offers it 3 times?
Well, then I have to accept it, don't I? Because that's normally that's with our society.
It is, and he has been known to abuse your society on many occasions, so let's see. Okay, so apparently he does, completely abuse your society by just, offering it to you 3 times.
Okay, so I have a smooth rock.
Well,
You're in good company. Well,
when you pick the rock up,
you're in company. I wouldn't say good.
So when you accept the rock, you see that the symbol burns itself into the back of your hand. Same symbol you've seen on various places on the wagons. And the elder dealer happily walks off as the rock just turns to dust. Little evils.
Great. So if I apply makeup on it, does it still there?
Well, the thing is, it's only there when you think to look at it.
Oh, okay.
If you don't want to look at it, just turn your hand slightly, it fades away.
Oh, cool.
But you can now see it occasionally on other people's hands. You couldn't see it until you got one yourself.
Does this mean I'm actually accepted or not?
It's the other way around. You've accepted him into you.
Yeah, but does this mean he also keeps tabs on you?
Yeah. Of course, you can ask Mark more about that later. He's got 2.
2?
1 on each hand. He needed the extra protection.
Or is it just a balance?
I can't remember why I gave him the second one, but he got the second one. It's apparently important to the story.
Okay. I believe that Nashru might be one of the very few in the party that don't have it at the present time.
Shaylu also doesn't have it.
Actually, no, I'm talking the PCs.
Yeah, of the PCs, you're the only PC who doesn't have it besides Grace's character.
Iomi also hasn't accepted it?
Apparently, he can't give it to Iomi.
Can't give it to the goddess?
No.
It's good to see. It's good to see the goddess maintains her purity.
It has trouble being in her presence.
Understandably so.
What's her deity base? What does she worship?
Apparently herself.
Well, it's a bit of the information, and it's certainly something that you'll be
she's
told
the goddess
part
of
the
vanity.
process.
She is the follower of a dead god.
So
With the full power of a cleric.
Yes. Nashru will quite happily explain the fact that his sister is the goddess Avacna, one of the ancient gods, who
died stopping Gorog, the destroyer, who is reputed to be imprisoned in the center of the world you now stand on.
She did previously have a crystal guardian when she first came to us, but when the guardian realised that she had been accepted into our family and therefore would gain our protection, the guardian was willing to depart. So, but she doesn't believe that she's a goddess, but we all know. And yes, you could say Nashru deliberately tells this story with a big grin and a gleam in his eye on the idea of, yes, she hates being called a goddess, so he does it all the time.
So every time she's in hearing shot of it, she says, "Totally not a goddess."
But it was last session she did say that she was a goddess.
I know. It was funny. So yes, a lot of things have happened, and now most nights you dream of red glowing eyes. Since you got this irritating itch on your hand.
I just continue meditating.
Even in your meditations, you see them watching over you. It's nice to have a spirit watching over you.
Very protective it is. Or something.
Depending if it's going to be overprotective.
It doesn't share.
Okay, I can see why it goes as a cat form. Can't understand an armadillo.
That was because that was the original form.
Armadillo was the original form. So... Armadillo is what he came to bug as.
And it is one of the original familiar forms from Pathfinder 1.
Armadillo?
Yeah.
An armoured rat.
It is. And it is a cute thing too when you look at the pictures of them. But it can turn into a ball, which she thought was amusing too.
So it was never cute in Nashru's eyes.
Does this mean it does a sonic thing as well? So
Hasn't done that yet. Hasn't done that. But it has turned into a horrific demon.
It was a demon of shadow, so going to nightmare, probably not that far.
It is an actual nightmare demon.
Yeah, it's a demon of nightmare, not demon of shadow. So...
Shadows is one of its strengths. But nightmare is its primary purpose.
Lovely.
So while I say you do have red glowing eyes, the red glowing eyes do give you nightmares.
Okay. And he said you dreamed of red glowing eyes. Well, nightmares are still dreams. Mostly.
Every time you wake up, there is either a cat, an armadillo, or a crow with red eyes staring at you. Which then departs.
So we've probably become its food source.
So rarely going out through the door, but always leaving the room.
Yeah. I know, a monk could do that. I don't have that ability. I've got the flying one instead.
So yes, so you've now been totally initiated into the party. So Jeremy, how many do you think I can collect over the years?
Well, as I said, it's one of the oddities. Nashru, one of his quests in life is to to destroy enough evil to undo the effects of having evil in his own family. And as part of that is also the fact that he doesn't allow himself to directly warn others of Splat's power unless they come to him and ask. So, which is why I didn't say anything about the stone.
That's evil.
Like I said, he's conflicted.
It's what evil do they accept and what evil do they not accept. And so far, Splat has not done one thing to harm the party except give them nightmares and headaches. He did make them pass out on occasion when they asked him questions.
And it is totally undeniable that Splat has
understanding of the supernatural and all that. He's probably using that as a more of to power itself up to stay in this world.
Quite possibly.
And without it, wouldn't be able to. So basically, it's anchoring itself in this world.
But it is one of the things from Nashru's perspective is the sense that.
So it means that if the owner of the familiar dies, it means that he won't be going away.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so he's basically saying this is his life saves.
Yep. Well, and as I say, from Nashru's perspective, it's the sort of thing that, as much as he hates and abhors the presence of the demon, certainly his family has been safer in most respects. Physically safer, possibly not spiritually safer, since the arrival of Splat.
And Splat has always made an appearance, even when the player has not been here. So there's not been one session gone where Splat has not made itself felt. That I can remember. How about you, Jeremy? Can you remember a
Right,
session where...
he comes up way too often as far as Nash is concerned.
Okay, so you are 35 days in from the place. You think you only have maybe 8 days left?
How are we for... Well, I suppose let's say we've technically... We can do enough magical food to survive when we need to?
You can
For
get
the whole
enough magical
caravan?
food to keep going.
We can also
Sorry?
forage during the day.
You also asked not to.
Okay.
Well,
Because
that
of
was
where
the-
you're
that-
going.
That was the question I was going to have, was that, okay, recognising how long it's taken to travel through the plains, working on the idea that it'll probably take at least that long through the forest, and then do we know how long we've got from the forest to wherever we're going to get to?
About 4 times as long as it takes to get to the forest.
Right.
The forest is a lot bigger.
The
It depends on if the forest is willing for us to go through.
well, but the question then was, so are we effectively self-sufficient for food in the caravan, even if it's boring?
You are self-sufficient, and you have a feeling that you are being tempered to get used to not foraging by the time you reach the forest.
Yeah, because the question was going to be that if we worked out, okay, even with having supplemented the food all this time, if the food was not going to last, whether it would be better to try and do some foraging before we get to the forest rather than in the forest. But
We can't do either.
if Nashru recognises or calculates that we can get by without foraging at all, then he's willing to accept Miao's guidance at this stage.
So you basically got with you 3 clerics.
Can the halflings summon up some berries?
He's not that sort of spellcaster, but I think he's uses occult spells. So I don't think he actually uses proper summonings.
So in that case, he basically can.
He's not a nature caster.
In that case, he could probably just purify stuff or something like that.
Okay, so yes, you do take the another more 8 days.
So can you actually summon a stick, make a stick into a snake?
I'm not sure.
I always find that spell amusing. I have this staff, I throw it to the ground, it becomes a huge puppet.
Absolutely, the old sticks to snakes. So, it's a classic.
Okay, so
Then we call you Thosser Doom.
so it's actually 7 days gets you to the forest,
Okay.
and that might be a good point to stop it for the others.
Seems reasonable, yep.
Yeah, since I expect we'll probably... Since something's supposed to be preventing us getting into the forest, they might already... Having scouts along the forest trying to see if we front up.
Well, at the very least, it might be worth having extra friends around when we climb into the forest.
That too.
Okay, so if you want to know the section on getting to the forest is that section there.
Cool.
So Jeremy, just so you know, you can see where my fingers are pointing.
Yep.
That is the entire section on the troubles of getting to the forest.
So that's 40 days worth of travel.
42 days of travel.
Wow. Okay. Obviously, it was supposed to be an event-filled time.
They did have a chart at the back here for a hangman grove, a monsoon, an Oni assault, a colony of giant tarantulas, or ninjas. So, colony of giant tarantulas rolled up multiple times, but because of how you were travelling, you did not trip any of their nests or feeding grounds.
Yep. Plus we had the lights.
You avoided all of them. The hangman's grove came up a few times, but because you were avoiding the trees, for the same reason, none of them actually dealt with you.
And the ninjas we lost at the start.
And the Oni assault rolled up once, but because you were following Splat, they couldn't find you. So Splat has been protecting the team for quite a long time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, let's go.
So, has anyone worked out what's in it for him?
Oh, quite a few of them have worked out what's in it for him. No one wants to talk about it. Apparently, talking about it will drive you nuts.
Okay, so you want
that
to
involves
cite
thinking about it and remembering it.
He's a creature of nightmares. Actually, comprehending what he's getting out of it will drive you insane.
So he's a Cthulhu monster.
Very much so. So Jeremy, that would be. I'm going to put it into shutdown, and I'm happy to chat to you a little bit afterwards if you.
Yeah.
So I'll let you know when it finishes.
So
all good.
HP